Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Baka podcast.
Baka.
It's amazing how every time you open your mouth, you prove you're an idiot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Baka. We are an anime podcast where every 2 weeks we come together and discuss an anime. Notice how I didn't say ish? We're back on schedule, baby.
Boom.
Ish. And after those 2 weeks of watching anime, we discuss it on this podcast. We turn that discussion over to you, the listeners. We're all Bakas, but we're more Baka than you, so we need your help to discuss these animes and help us review them. But I also need the help of my co-host. Tonight we are discussing it's called Clevatess. A week behind.
What are you
To be Clevatess X.
Ooh.
Clevatess. One word.
Well,
And to help me discuss it, I need my friends. First off, we have the Scooby to my Shaggy. It's Jeremy.
how is that
Hey.
relevant?
Maybe that's the mystery. Yes.
And Jeremy's going to give us a hot take.
Oh.
Yeah.
Um.
Not so easy to keep thinking
Every-
stuff off
every-
the top of your head, is it?
Everything is inspired. Too much. That's too much of a hot take.
Too hot.
Great.
Yeah, too hot. It's burning me. The majority of fantasy anime are inspired in some way. I'm so used to hedging my statements. Inspired in some way by classic JRPGs instead of vice versa. I don't know which one came first.
I mean,
Right,
they're
so
both
mad.
Japanese. That's not even that hot of a take. Hey, this thing from our culture we kept using.
It's burning. It's a burning hot take. It's
Like if you had
Ultima.
said Western fantasy, like J.R.L. Tolkien, all
Eh,
Japan
no.
can do is copy J.R.L. Tolkien. I don't think that's true, but
Oh, well, no, because you see, I've done enough research to know that the majority of like JRPGs even come from D&D.
all right, this must be like a
wizardry.
30-second thing.
Oh,
Okay, you're done.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
We also have the Muttley to my dick, dastardly, Jason.
Again, relevancy. Had it. It's there.
So hot.
And then hold on. So shonen. We have too much of it.
So instead of anime, we have too much of it. It's just specifically shown. Okay.
I think it's overdone.
We should have more anime for a 40-year-old men. And less for 15-year-old boys.
I think I think Jujutsu Kaisen did a great flip on the genre, and all the others are overrated copies of each other.
Man,
Demon
that's
Slayer and Chainsaw Man.
Is Chainsaw Man shonen?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm being a bit too broad.
Maybe. My Hero Academia?
Yeah, we have that. It's basically DBZ.
Is it?
That's my hot take. Take it or leave it.
Okay. Yeah.
Not much crying in DBZ.
Well,
Maybe there should have been.
Gohan.
My name is Troy. My anime hot take, since I prepared this and was definitely ready and have a hot take about to come out. So prepare yourselves. Don't get burned here.
I smell it.
gross.
We need more shonen.
We need more. Nice.
No, I guess if I had anything, it would be for this 40-year-old man. We focus a little too much on high school characters. And I'm not saying we should just make everything adult, but let's have some more old men anime. I mean, old men. Let's have like retirement home slice of life, the anime. Who doesn't want to live that fantasy?
Count me out.
Yeah,
Not
that doesn't.
Unless monsters show up and he gets some kind of crazy old retirement powers.
I have a real hot take. I had a real hot take. This was all been edited. It wasn't, but pretend I did edit this and took the time for that. My hot take for the first time: pirate it. I'm done. I'm done.
Hold on. Why do you get to break the rules?
Have multiple hot takes?
I didn't.
What do you mean? Okay, Mr. Editor.
I edited that.
Reality.
Yeah.
I literally just said this is my first hot take. To be fair, this was my real hot take that I came into the show, and then I wrote a bunch of show notes to get ready. We talked about what we'd be doing. We did pre-show.
I don't see it in the show notes.
And to be fair, we really believe you. Yeah.
No,
I'm looking at the show notes right now.
Okay. So Crunchyroll announced the time of this recording. I think it might have been yesterday. They announced it. The free service is done, where you can watch anime with ads as of the end of December. And this is fresh off a controversy where their subtitle company changed, and they're no longer like adding the subtitled words to like a sign. Like if there's a sign out on the street, you don't get, or someone's cell phone text message, you don't get to see those words anymore. It's just the quality is going down, the price is going up, and in a year they're gonna be like, hey, ads are coming to our regular service, but if you get our premium service, you can no longer watch ads.
Yep.
And it's not just Crunchyroll. All these streaming services, I'm kind of getting done with them. I was one of the first cord cutters and jumping on the streaming bandwagon. I know this is how it works. They get you in with a cheap deal and then they jack up their prices. But I'm frustrated and I'm done with them. And so if you want to pirate away. The pirate seas are open again in my book.
The 7 Seas are.
And that's hot. That's a hot take.
That is very hot.
Real hot take.
Disavow.
All right.
Don't make me out with you.
Play it safe. I'm fine with it. Okay. Also, Amazon Prime show that I pay for putting ads in the middle of my movies.
Dude.
Oh.
That's just unethical.
Okay. Nope. We're an anime podcast. We are an anime podcast. I'm gonna be done. We're moving on.
You shifted that right in the third gear and you were about to hit the gas.
Okay, we're talking about Clevatess. Jason, you picked a one-word anime.
Did I?
Or did you? Jeremy, you totally ruined the bit. He didn't know.
I did too know.
The real title is Clevatess, the king of magical beasts, the baby, and the corpse hero. It's too many words, man. You're banned.
I don't think I am,
so
though.
Funny. It's like 3 days ago. I thought of this bit. All right, let's talk about the anime. Which we do. It's Jason's pick, so he gets give us his non-spoiler review.
Trying to sell this anime in words is rough. Eldritch God wants to raise baby and needs a wet nurse. That doesn't sound like something that's hot off the presses and like is gonna be an amazing anime.
You got me.
Yeah, I'll be fair. If you told me that's what this anime was about,
oh, okay,
I would have with bells on. As soon as I learned that's what the concept was, I'm like, that's amazing. Let's go.
And yeah, it turned into just chef's kiss, like the masterpiece. I'm gonna have a hard time being critical. I'm super biased. Watch this anime. It's got the animation. So to be fair, I'm not big on 90s animation. Like Fist of the North Star, I really like the story, but like, that old style anime compared to today, like I like the newer graphics. I like some of the CGI overlay with the 2D. I like the more modern stuff. this is such a great callback to 90s style anime, and I loved it. It's also got these really deep themes along with a really great story. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be hard to not be biased. But that's my review.
All right, Jeremy, your thoughts?
I thought it was really good. The first episode is extra long. It's like 45 minutes. So just be aware. But I also think it's great to watch. Like you should watch it before you listen to the rest of the podcast. Really, don't even listen to Troy's opinion. Just go watch it.
100%.
You can come back. uh, it's really good. The writing is great. The world building is awesome. The first couple of episodes, they can be a little rough for some people. Like I know Tanya was having a little bit of a hard time with it.
There's
Just
some
because
dark
of how
content.
brutal it was. Very dark.
I started
Not
telling
afraid.
my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Started telling my wife, and she was like, "Hey, you don't need to tell me the rest of this anime." I'm like, "No, it's not like that all the time. It's just
yeah. But during those 2 episodes, you're gonna have to deal with some stuff, and it's pretty brutal. But once you get past that, and honestly, for me, that it just made the story matter more. It added a lot more. I was more engaged because of how much it had immersed me and what was at stake, and what the characters had gone through. And so, I think it's not something that I would take away from the show, but yeah, it's really good. I have a few very minor criticisms, but absolutely nothing serious. I really enjoyed
Now that you're back,
it.
I don't know why he's telling you not to listen to me. I really liked it. I'm here to praise it as well. I told these guys I'm not. I think it's really, really good. I don't think it's great.
Get out.
But like, I started at first, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good." I think the beginning is one of the best story intros I've ever seen. It's definitely up there. It's really good, and it ends really, really well. The middle gets muddled, and there's some story beat pacing that I was concerned. I went into the final episode like I've lost a little faith at this point, and then they epically land the finale. I think the finale is great. So overall, I very highly recommend. But I want to show my notes. You're not gonna be able to read them, so there's no spoilers. But on this page, if you're looking on YouTube, it takes up the whole page of this little notebook that I have, and this is pretty typical of me recapping story beats. I come back and highlight later what I want to talk about. But I get to about 3/4 of the way down. I have an epilogue in here, so it looks more than it is. But about 3/4 of the way down is how most stories fill a page when I'm taking notes. Done this 200 times. I can kind of tell how many story beats they're packing into an episode based on my writing. There's caveats. There's like, hey, this is a battle episode. Hardly any words needed to describe it. Hey, they fought for 22 minutes. It was awesome. Doesn't fill a page. But generally, that's how it goes. Here is episode 9. It doesn't even reach halfway down the page. There's just a lot of nothing a lot of times. And when we get into the spoiler section, I can go into more detail about that, but
Slow burn.
It's slow burn, which I'm fine with. But they also leave a lot on the bone for the theme they're exploring, which I think is awesome. And again, I think they introduce it great, and I think they end it great. I don't feel like they took the time to chew it properly, especially to make that ending really super earned. They stick the landing, but they didn't chew it enough. It's like riding a train where the 2 train stations are immaculate, but that's like really bumpy and the bridge is swaying when you're on the train. But still better than most anyway. He's absolutely right about the animation style, that it's modern character designs, but with like that 90s almost hazy glaze and a little bit darker than normal than modern anime. It's not as colorful. It giving you that 90s Ninja Scroll vibe. Music's great. Characters are amazing. World building is amazing.
I even felt a little bit of like Claymore mixed in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. So like 99% of this anime is fantastic. I was a little worried about the story in the middle. It all paid off in the end. I highly recommend it. Okay, you guys okay?
Acceptable.
You gonna take me
You're-
behind the shed later and beat me?
You're allowed
I'm
to
getting
ask.
I'm gonna make some calls and get them to stop the delivery on your Christmas present.
All right,
That's right.
everybody's favorite part of the show. Tanya's take now with lyrics.
Go,
That was not
Jason,
discussed.
go.
No, it was not. Wet mouth sounds was not what we were expecting. But
Oh,
it's what you get.
This isn't the ASMR section.
Right.
You are not Michael Winslow, sir. All right, give us Tanya's take.
She loved it. Like I said, the first 2 episodes were really hard just because of the brutality in it. The world building was great. She thought it was really interesting, but she thought it was kind of silly in some parts about how like you said, Jason, you've got a sort of an eldritch god like type monster, and you're trying to make it compassionate. Like, come on, like just that premise to her came across as a little bit silly, and she really wanted the beast to destroy the world, and none of them were worth saving.
It's amazing. What a take.
And I'm in trouble.
There we go.
That was good. That was really good.
That was good.
All right, your guys' thoughts on the opening and closing.
If I had a Spotify list, it'd instantly go on there for the OP. Plus the
Why don't you have a
visuals.
Spotify list.
Don't you have
I
an
don't-
Amazon Music?
Really don't listen to music too often.
Right, he's the anti-music guy.
I'm not anti. I just don't do it. Just don't actively
Name
go
one
look.
song. Name one song ever.
Ordinary.
Creed.
You don't get to help him.
Okay.
And you named
That's-
a band. It's terrible.
It's synonymous with song. It doesn't.
We are 3 idiots.
Um, Pink Pony Club. Anyways, it's just on the radio constantly, and I can't get away from it. Anyways, song's fire. It's so good. The visuals are fantastic. I love how it doesn't quite give away certain story beats, but especially when we come to the drill. Drill.
Yeah.
Like there's some hints there, which I like. And the ED is it's good. I like the passive world building of the visuals, and the song was serviceable.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought the OP was great. Music was really good. It was an interesting showcase of everything that's in the show, right? As OPs often are. It definitely gave away a few things pretty strongly, pretty obviously, which I'm a little sad about because I think they would have hit harder if I wasn't able to predict them.
The character Nell.
Exactly.
Okay.
The reveal of
Yeah.
Nell was.
That's the big one.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yep.
Too
the
huge.
Outro. Yes. The outro was so different. It is not what I expected, but at the same time, it works really, really well to set a sort of somber, sad tone to the whole show. And how it's having you look through pages which initially you don't know what they are, but as you watch through the show, you're like, oh, that was that scene, that was this scene. That's pretty cool. I always like it when you can start identifying those things. And then at the end, just recognizing what you're looking through as like, oh, that's actually important in the anime too. It's pretty cool. it left me with some questions that even after watching the anime, they're not answered, but I think that's intended. It's not a bad thing. So yeah, I liked them both.
I'm almost word for word what Jeremy just said. I think they're great. I do think the OP revealed a little too much, but song's great. The animation's great. Um, Ending fit really well. I had no issues with it. Never skipped them. All right. We're about to go to our spoiler section, but before we do, just so you know, the anime we're going to be discussing next is Gachiakuta. Part 1, the first half, which some would say is probably 12 episodes.
Yes.
Yes.
So
We're all super excited about
I am, at least.
I'll explain in the next episode. I don't want to reveal anything. Keep my cards close. All right, spoiler time. Yeah, we'll be spoiling Clevatess. That's what we watched. And we're going to discuss characters, discuss plot. So if we have convinced you to go see it and you haven't yet, now would be a good time to pause, like and subscribe, or whatever you're listening.
5-star review.
5-star review. And then come back and listen to the spoiler section so you can tell us what we're wrong about, what your thoughts are. They're more important than ours anyway.
100%.
All right. We start with a flashback to a young little girl living out on a farm with her daddy, and we learn that in this fantasy world, we've almost got kind of an Attack on Titan situation. And it's similar in that, hey, we're in this weird situation, but to us, this is just how the world works. They can't go past their one country, and not even that sometimes, because they're surrounded by armies of dark beasts, and there's 4 dark beast lords who live at the 4 compass points, who keep them all bottled up, and so their map is like really tiny, and then they just color black on the rest of their map.
They have fog of war.
I would just expand the picture.
To be fair, it does look like continent sized of what they have, but you're right. Outside of that, it's all darkness. And anybody that tries to go past there gets eaten.
Mm-hmm.
This little girl says, well, then I'll be a hero and I'll defeat the Dark Beast Lords and we'll open the map, Daddy. That's what I'll do. And this little girl ends up being our main character because we catch back up with her when she's an adult. Her name is Alicia. Now, Jason, I know you hate it when there's a main character whose name is not the title. Or the name of the title is not them. But what did you think of Alicia?
What are you talking about?
You don't remember? Sakamoto Days? You were really pissed off that it wasn't about Sakamoto specifically only? That there was another main character whose name wasn't in the title?
Was I upset about that?
Yeah, it's a very
I don't remember.
Complaint. It's classic Jason complaints.
I think it was less about that and more I was just looking for things to be upset about because I didn't like the anime.
But you do that, and they come back to bite you. No, I'm teasing. What do you think, Alicia?
She's great. I think one of the really great things about what this anime does is it subverts some expectations. It's funny because we get this classic like introduction to this group of heroes, and I won't spoil anything just yet because we're not there, but like it goes the way you think it's going, and then it goes off a cliff that you weren't looking for. And so
let's just say the introduction is so classic, a note taker would write down all 13 names. Much to his chagrin, very soon later on.
Very diligent.
Yes.
But she's sassy and independent, but she's not but she's very caring, and I like her journey from I have title of hero to a hero is about their actions and their heroicness and not necessarily something that's been bestowed upon them. that's a really neat journey to watch her go through. Also, I love her powers she gets. Like there's some really cool, because like we've complained about that in the past, especially like with ReZero, where like we're afraid, oh, he's just gonna keep, you know, doing his thing in order to fix whatever situation he's in. This felt so earned when she was like, this is a bad situation. What if I just fall? So
Let's make it worse.
right. So yeah, she was I really, she was a great addition to the story.
I thought she was really cool. Yeah, everything you said. There were a lot of scenes where she just came across as a very grounded character. I think that's one of the things I like about all the characters in this,
Yes.
especially the main two, is that they're very believable in the way that they speak, the way that they think. Um, there's not a lot of the typical like obstinate willpower being the force that gets you through everything. Um, and go ahead.
Yes. Okay, yeah, no, you just you, that's one of the things I really liked about especially some of the combat, is most like combat moves where they're like, you know, this is my power up move, there was cost to it. Like she's got a very powerful dragon sweeping attack, except she almost goes blind, and she's and laser focused on her target, nothing else, and it bites her in the butt a couple times.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just the exchanges back and forth between her and Clevatess, and even later, like Nelaru when she joins the party, were great. I have no complaints with this character. Really good character.
Did you just skip ahead to other characters for review?
Yep.
Come on,
Hey,
man.
it wasn't me this time. It wasn't me.
No,
Hey,
he's
saying your
always-
names isn't a skip ahead.
He always goes off the rails.
Yes,
Surprised you
I
didn't
like-
talk about how he felt about the finale.
I like the off roads. It's my favorite.
The off-road.
All right.
What
We
did you think,
review each other
Alicia?
more than we review about the anime these days. Okay, Alicia's my favorite character. I love a underdog hero in a rough situation. Still time to do the best. The theme of is a hero what they're told they are, or a hero what they do. That's a great theme. Not the newest ever, but it works through it very well. She handles it well. I like that they brutally scar her and leave it that way. There's other characters who get glow ups, and this character is left. Hey, life's hard when you're a hero, and it leaves some scars, emotionally and physically, and they let them linger. There's for this character and the next main character. I would have liked to seen more scenes between them. Maybe, like I was saying, I think there's some meat on the bone, and I think we could have shortened some arcs and taken some more time for like a little. I'm gonna say buddy cop, but I don't mean like literally buddy cop, but just hey, we don't like each other, and then we're moving forward and coming to understand each other. The story is obviously longer than just this one 12 episode season, so maybe that's there. I would have liked to see a little more here from her and from the next character, but other than that, I absolutely adore.
I like what you said there about the meat on the bone and like more scenes with them, because we get some where she's trying to manipulate him, and sometimes it works and most of the time it doesn't. And I think I really like
I absolutely love their interactions, but they're very few and far between across 12 episodes, when I feel like we definitely had time to do a few more.
I agree.
So the one thing I've noticed is like Jeremy called out, hey, this theme. Well, let's do that in Cleb story. All right. Yeah. Apparently, I only wrote down 7 heroes, but anyway, big bunch of heroes fight through monsters.
Not
We all
so
have
relevant.
special attacks, and we.
Well,
get
where are they
to
going?
They're going to the
Clevatess.
south.
You skipped from she's learns about the
She's a-
world to they're attacking Clevatess.
I said we see her as a hero,
Okay.
and now her and a band of heroes, which you pointed out,
Yes.
they're going to attack the Southern
13
Lord.
of them.
13 heroes.
So they've been tasked by the king of the land to
I don't.
like,
Mhm.
yep, in order to expand their understanding of the world and be able to travel.
Which in the rule set is, hey, the legend is a hero who get a magic weapon from a king, and then he will save the world. So the king is like, you get one, and you get one, and you get one, and this technically counts.
Why is the world not saved yet?
One of these should probably work.
Yes.
Yeah, playing it on a technicality. I also like that. These 13 heroes that all have magic weapons from kings fight through a bunch of beasts, face the Lord. He's a giant dog, which
With
is
tons
why
of tails.
dogs were referenced at the beginning of this episode. Anyway,
Dogs were
also
referenced?
Scooby Doo, Muttley, he complained.
Oh, you referenced him. I
and
thought you meant the anime
also,
episode.
he's a
Yes.
wolf, not a dog.
Not when he's coming out of her bloody boobies.
That's true.
Then he's a little
Puppy.
puppy.
Well, maybe he's a wolf pup.
That's fine.
Indistinguishable.
I saw talking dog with friend human companion, and I went with it.
That makes more sense. Okay.
All right, he's a giant wolf with like snake
Horns.
tails, and he
7 tails. Each
One
one
horn.
has a horn on it.
And then he's also got 3 horns, one in the middle and 2 on the side.
If it's on a, doesn't the horn have to be on your head to be a horn?
No, a horn is just hair that has turned into a spike, so it could be anywhere really.
Isn't that also a claw?
I don't think so. I think the material that makes
we really
up, like,
arguing
a nail
about-
or a claw is
Okay,
different.
how does he know a hair is coming out of the tail? Why can't it just be a stinger?
I'm assuming because it's so big that it's more like a horn in structure, but it could be just a bunch of calcium.
That's what she said. Anyway, he has the power of shadows, so he okay. So this anime,
The Eminence?
this moment's a little telegraphed, but like I said, I was writing down names, so it wasn't telegraphed super early. But hey,
I think it's in the My Anime List description, isn't it?
Can you guys focus on the recap? All right. Super cliche anime protagonist runs forward and says, "We are here to defeat you and we're going to beat you up. Here we go." And he's dead. He's smashed into a wall. His neck is snapped. He's upside down. And everyone's like, "Oh." And it goes, then you know exactly where it's going, right? So Clevatess murders them all. Alicia manages to hit his horn and scratch it before she's also dismembered and died. And Clevatess, what I really loved about this first episode is getting to hear Clevatess's thoughts, and we don't do that going forward. But yeah, from then on, Clevatess kind of takes over the story, and he's like, I haven't seen a human-ish thing in 1,000 years. Now they're suddenly showing up and trying to kill me, and he's swatting away like flies. He's like, these are kind of stronger than I thought they'd be, but this is annoying. And then once he kills him, he's like, I'm gonna go figure out what's going on. And then he's gonna go on his little adventure.
Well,
yeah, that's fine.
He knows where they're coming from, so he's like, "I'm gonna go kill the king for intruding on my territory."
To the swords, he was like, "Oh, these things." So he drops them down a crevasse. It's like nobody's getting these. And then he goes and visits the king, and because he wants to ask the king a question.
Yeah, and deal back recompense for infringing on his territory and killing his people. Yep.
All right, just a quick clarification from my fellow host. I'm not forgetting these items. Remember how we talked about last week? I'm going to change the recap style and be much more vague, and then you guys call out things you want to have called out.
That?
Yeah, I'm still doing that.
You have to put that in the
chat every time. You need to be told every time.
Like, think about like you're talking to an AI. You have to give me the pre-prompt.
This is the recap style going forward. I'm trying to shorten the recap to give you guys more time speaking and to call out the things you really like, so I don't talk for 20 minutes straight. And
that's part of the thing I liked, is the reason he was going. So, anyways, please continue.
We won't know if you've forgotten or intentionally left something out.
That too. I'm glad you're calling it out. I'm just, you guys are acting like I'm forgetting these, and I'm probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, you are the only one that writes down stuff.
It's true.
And highlights it, and then barely looks at it. your guys' thoughts on Clevatess, whose name is also going to be Clen soon.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to call him that mostly. But right now, he's Clevatess. Your guys' thoughts on him?
What a neat character. Uh, he is the central around this really unique idea. I'm not sure I've seen a story, let alone an anime, that's done something where we take a extremely powerful beast that like looks at humans as anthills, and it's just like, these insects are in my way, why should I care? And that discussion on the value of life and like, does humanity have any redeeming qualities, those are really cool ideas to explore from his perspective. And then also he's very matter of fact. He is such straight man. He's just like, well, I just want to experience this. I am not in danger. Like, nothing you've done has hurt me in any way. We'll just kind of see where this goes, because I kind of find this interesting. This is a little more interesting than just sitting up on my mountain. So yeah, what a great character. I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, there were certain scenes where I was thinking, did he really take damage from that? Like, why? And I think you're exactly right. I think that in those situations, he, maybe he got a little startled, but he just wanted to see where things were going to go. I'm thinking specifically about the upcoming scene with the bandits. Um, you know, his analytical nature is absolutely fascinating. I love characters like this. I have seen him in some novels, like in the Ringworld novel. There's the puppeteers, and sometimes they're a little bit like this, but they're also terrified of everything. So maybe not a perfect comparison, but just that idea of somebody who is so powerful and so untouchable that they're really not worried about you. And if the humans hadn't come and bothered him, wouldn't have bothered them back, right? He really didn't care about them. But it's sort of that, if you punch me, I will wipe out you and your entire family kind of mode that he goes into.
It's like how I play Civ 5.
It's getting bitten by an ant and being like, oh, there's an ant hill over there. I need to go wipe that out.
Well,
Yeah.
not
I have
even just
an
one.
ant hill on my
I'm
property.
gonna wipe out all the ants
All ants
in
ever.
these
Have
2
ever
acres.
existed.
Yes,
I can only dream.
I know, right?
Right.
But that's really cool. I also really like how he just goes with the flow. He's so casual about everything. He's like, oh yeah, that's the nature. Beasts eat. You shouldn't feel bad that that person's gone. They're dead. We'll find someone else. It's all right. It's no big deal. We'll move on. Oh, I'm surprised you're still alive. I thought for sure you'd be dead by now. Like just his constant casual um view towards everybody else's survival. He really does come from a dog eat dog environment, right? Where the strongest is the Lord. And he doesn't understand the sort of hierarchical relationships and societal relationships that humanity builds instead. And that is a fascinating thing to observe as he encounters it. And I like that sort of not a contradiction, but I like that juxtaposition where he's comes from a totally different almost culture, you could say, and is trying to understand the one that he's browsing through, touring.
Is it in any way a dichotomy?
Yeah, it's a dichotomy.
Oh, we brought it back. Yes. Good job, Jason. Me. Man, what a dog crap. No, I'm kidding. He's awesome. I don't disagree with anything you guys have said. I love the element of, hey, I'm above this all. You guys are insects to me. Dog eat dog world, all that stuff is great. I just like it for the opposite reason, you guys. I love then that he's faced with this challenge to his worldview.
Yes.
And that's what this story is about. What if something that has that worldview then is faced with the innocent life? And like, the moment it happens, he's like, yeah, no, I don't care about that. I'm just going to go. And then she's like, or he's like, "Hey, please," and he's like, "Fine, I'll take care of a baby." And I've heard it already said, and I understand where they're coming from, Tanya, and it's a bit of a silly premise.
Oh, yeah.
Know, I I love it.
Yes.
It's everything I want. If any, my biggest complaint is they don't spend more time on it. I again want more interactions with Alicia, more interactions with the baby, more seeing his worldview get challenged and seeing his decisions because of that. Um, it happens a few times for sure. Definitely happens at the end. The end one, where he's what color are the eyes? That scene.
Yeah, because at that point he's just, I'm done
Oh,
with this experiment.
yeah, I'm done. This is dumb. And then has his worldview challenged to his face and makes a different decision. I love it. Again, I just wanted to see more of that. Maybe him make different choices before and then and story arc and make different choices at the end. But overall, throughout the story and through this character, amazing stuff. I wish we saw more of his thoughts when he's in his human form.
Mm-hmm.
I like his human form a lot less. But yeah, but he's great. He's a great anime character. Belongs in the remember this guy. This matters. Speaking of remembering, this manga was written by the same author. I'm pretty sure I saw of Dimension W.
Oh,
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
I saw that when I was looking up the full title, so we can make fun of Jason for it. It said manga writer of Dimension W. I'm like, that's the one these guys really liked. I hadn't picked that one too, but it was good.
There was one more point I wanted to touch on, just for my flavor. Like, I am a sucker for a power fantasy, Overlord, all those, right? But
Solo leveling or sister leveling, whatever it's
this is the first time that it's been a power fantasy, not just from a villain's perspective, because at this point he set up to be a villain to be vanquished, but he's not human. And he has no human values, and he doesn't care about human values either. That's what I'm finding absolutely fascinating. It's like, I've got all the normal anime protagonist power fantasy abilities and powers, but I'm not here to nation build or make your lives better. No, don't trespass.
Yeah. I would almost call him, instead of a villain, I almost think of him as like a neutral entity that they ticked off.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Well, I think one of the fun things about the story is he's both.
Yes.
To humanity who is caged and imprisoned in this area, he is their jailer. And he doesn't even seem to be fully aware of that or what that means to them.
I thought they were going to go for like some sort of multi-level comparison to the bandit camp in the first arc, and how the bandits are keeping their slaves in, they can't leave and all that. And then he would be like, "Oh, that's us all." But they didn't do that. I think that would have been too easy.
That is a great point. I never thought of it that way, that he is an unknowing jailer. That's cool.
Yeah, because I think if the humans went north, it's not like he's gonna run up north to keep them in. He's just like, this is my territory. You're not allowed in it. Yeah. And they're like, but we're locked in. We have to go through you, and that is where the conflict comes. So yes, from his point of view, he's not being evil. He's not menacing the humans. He's not bothering them at all. He hasn't seen them in 1,000 years, and he's totally fine with that. Just wants to sit on his mountain. Humans, oh my god, we can't get past this wall. We have limited resources. We're jammed in here. We gotta go.
I was kind of wondering about how pressing their need was to escape that prison, because it doesn't look like their resources are that.
It's not. It's the exploratory human spirit that a lot of people have. Well, they want to know what's beyond.
I threw that in. We haven't seen a lot of the other countries. I kind of did that as a motivation for the humans, but really, there's also this secret puppet master thing motivation going on that's also doing it. So yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, and probably shouldn't have thrown it in. It's probably on someone's mind. The humans are trying to expand. And
it was something that I was thinking of as a possibility. I was actively looking for it during the show. Like, do they need to? Like, are they bursting at the seams? Because that would be a real reason, and it is inevitable. I mean, they will get to that point
Right.
eventually. Um, but yeah, for now, it's I think curiosity. Simply knowing that you can't go somewhere, humans are like, but I want to now. If you
And
hadn't
it's a,
told me that,
and it is a constant threat. Nothing's keeping the dark beast from encroaching on their territory.
that's another thing I was wondering. Because as soon as the King of Haydn was taken out and the capital city was like mostly destroyed, people were talking about, hey, if we don't go down and take that, then maybe the dark beasts will come up from the south and take it. And so I was wondering, is there historical precedent?
I just
Have they
remember some
lost
characters
land?
talking about dark beast is a dark beast that showed up in our forest, or we had to be ready for dark beast showing up. It seemed like sometimes
Mhm.
they wander in.
Yeah, and that makes it even more interesting because another thing is, no species is going to exist in just perfect homeostasis with the ones around it. So the
Mhm.
dark beast and all of his children, I can't imagine that in 1,000 years they haven't, expanded or pushed outward in some direction themselves. That was one thing that I was kind of a little bit. I guess I have questions, and I want to know if the world building holds up under closer
Yeah.
scrutinization as we learn more. It's not really a criticism yet; it's just sort of a void. Need more info.
All right. So yeah, he does. He does the thing I said he did. He goes to the kingdom where these heroes came from, and he trashes it. And the king's like, "Hey, we gotta protect the forge that makes the weapons." There's also
I
something on the back of his chair where he like writes it something.
didn't
I
catch
don't
that.
think we get to see it. It's like he's. My first thought was they're evolving, and he was like testing. Okay, what power level have we reached? And I think that is kind of true. But that was what I got from the okay. We're this tall now, and it didn't work. Almost as if like this repeats, but that wouldn't make sense because this is the first time he's been here. Doesn't matter. That's all this theorizing stuff. But yeah, he faces the king and he's like, "Hey, why are you messing with me, bro?" He doesn't actually say that. That wasn't an English dub. Uh, and the king's like, "You wouldn't understand." Off goes his head and finish
love
destroying
his
this
I
castle.
love his little quip right there too. He's like just decapitates him. He's like, "You don't answer a question with a question." And then he just goes on his
Yes.
way. Like it's just
And
like I'm not debating you, bro.
Yeah.
he does say your answer does determine the fate of humanity. Like if I don't like what you're about to say, I'm just gonna wipe everyone out. And he beheads the king. He's like, all right, I guess I'm gonna go raise an army, and this is gonna
Yep.
let's take this out. While he's leaving, a young woman. Nope, I scratched that off. It says young boy.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Like okay, like 2 or 3 times in this anime. I'm like the young girl, the young man.
Yeah. Yes.
To be fair,
The redhead.
this character is most likely voiced for or for the dub by a female voice actress. At
Yeah.
least that's
Oh,
what
for
it
sure.
sounds like.
Okay, that makes
But
sense.
it even looked like it was probably
It's
a
very
girl. So did
androgynous.
the redhead later.
But
Yeah.
she's under rubble from being crushed by a building that he destroyed.
Yep.
And it's not Princess Luna, it's Prince Luna, which I
Right.
saw a
That was
pink-haired
another one.
baby
Yes.
called Luna. I'm like, oh, so that's the princess, and
Yeah.
they're like, this is the prince, little
Oh,
boy.
okay.
um, yeah, this young boy, little issue is that when Clevatess in his human form, which is based on this boy who had the baby for some reason, and no one's like, you look just like that guy who had the baby, and no one's
I didn't
pointing
make
that
that
out.
connection. That
But
is
I did
interesting.
find that weird too, actually.
well, it
But
determines who
he had
the
a
boy
horn.
really is at this point.
Right. We have no idea
Is this
who this baby
yeah, is
is.
this a random boy that no one met and he just happened to find the prince and got out? Was he a part of the prince's caretakers? We don't know.
Could have been
I
his
was
Could be a twist.
brother,
Could
could have
be a twist
been
there too.
a
so
Could be
babysitter.
Clevatess from the future.
Dun dun dun.
okay, maybe. Okay, so this was one of my criticisms is the interaction between this kid that's dying and Clevitus is really weird. Like the kid immediately calls out to him and is like, "Take this baby. Don't let this baby die. Don't abandon him." Don't. And all I could think of was, "Have you heard the beast speak? Like, do you know it can even understand you? You know that this beast is what has destroyed everything around you. And if you know the lore of the dark beasts, why would you even consider Like, why would you think it was a possibility that you could appeal to
He
this?
had been talking to the king just a few moments ago, and I don't know
Yeah,
how the range is. Maybe he heard it.
Bleeding out and delirious.
maybe. I don't know. He was able to hold a conversation and try to make a
I
convincing
wouldn't call
argument.
that a conversation. That was
Well, he tried.
barely trying to get words out.
Could be a dub
Well-
sub difference too.
Yeah, in the sub, it was pretty clear. He was like, you know, watch the baby grow up, then you'll find your answer. Things like that, and it was really weird. So it made me think. I wonder if this is manipulation of some kind, and this kid wasn't actually a kid at all, but maybe was something else. I don't know if it's from another dark beast. I can't figure out a reason why that would
Or
make
part
sense.
of Toa.
Maybe it's part of Toa. I don't know. But it seems like something is pulling strings in this interaction because I found it just way too unbelievable.
I really like the English dub, maybe different. I really like the kid's argument. I like that there's a theory that there's more to this young boy or man that than what is on the surface. But I like the argument of basically trying to convince someone who doesn't have any value of life that maybe a life does have a value. It's like, he's part of my memories. He didn't choose to be that. He's an innocent child.
I did like that argument of, this kid didn't choose when or where to be born. So why is it fair that you would snuff this life out? And also we find out later that he does care about the young beasts being kidnapped or like disappearing. So he does have a sense of, small life that he identifies with as being something to watch grow. And then the argument of not only is this an innocent little baby, but, not all humans are looking to come kill you. This one will prove its worth to you. And I found that to be, it is a little weird that the kid was like, oh, giant beast.
Right.
You need to take this kid.
You can
I
be
get
the
that.
papa.
But I still liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, so at first thought is, well, it's their future king. Like, you got to go all out, try everything you can to save it.
That's a good argument. I like that.
But there's enough survivors around. I don't feel like the baby would have died just staying there.
Right.
So, but then it could again be a manipulation. I'll say for now, I don't have a problem with it. I'd love to see if there's more backstory to it. I'm okay with it as face presented. I understand your argument, though.
Yeah. Also, without this scene, the story doesn't happen. So
yeah, it's true. I thought maybe there was some way that they could just reword it or tweak the scene a little bit to make it a little more believable. But yeah, you're right. Something has to happen to get the baby into his paws.
horns.
To me, so just to make clear, it's why I bought the ticket for the ride. Like, I want to see a giant kaiju giant kaiju super intelligent monster raise a baby. I'm actually kind of bummed about how this anime ends the season because I wanted to see, like, okay, now it's an adult. I did the whole parent thing, and now he's like, oh, I'm a parent, I'm a dad, I have pride and care about this kid. That's what I wanted to see. Maybe it'll happen.
Well,
maybe it won't.
We get a little bit of that at the end, which made my heart skip. I was like, hey, oh.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about it when we get there, for sure.
Yeah. When we it's at the end.
We're still in the first episode. I do quick question. We're not going to talk about the character Luna because it's a baby, and they're just eating pooping machines.
Right.
But we have complained about young children being in anime. Your thoughts on a baby being a main character? A lot of shows, character has a baby, show's over. Babies sometimes mean death. It's basically like you either die or you have a baby, and either way, you're out of the story. So your guys' thoughts on a baby being included in an actual story?
I think I have a bit of bias because I'm a father, so baby being taken care of kind of speaks to me anyways. Normally in anime where it's a young main character, say Dan to Dan, there's some cool fight scenes, and the story is more built around that 15 to 17-year-old's experience. That doesn't speak to me anymore. Raising baby does speak to me, so this felt good. I didn't have any problems with it for this story.
I love it. I think it's always a really fascinating thing to explore, especially because it's not done very often. I mean, that's one of the reasons why in Spy Family, having the little kid run around, and that's great too.
Anya was great, by
Um,
the way.
yeah, you
Still,
get different perspectives on, like, well, how it depends, I think, on how the character is used and what happens to them and things like that. Because it this was a brutal enough anime. It could have gone a bad direction, but they didn't, and I think for that reason, great. It's totally fine.
I agree with both of them. Like, take their two answers, mix it with mine, or yeah. There we
Yeah.
go. So yeah, he gets home to his mountain with the baby, and then he's like, "Oh my god, what have I done?"
And it won't stop crying.
And it won't stop crying. They wrapped it in a blanket. It's gonna poop itself. It
I
has pooped
love
itself.
I love the technicality that he's like, all right, I can use my magic to strengthen it, but I can't fill its stomach. So, like, he's on a cellular level, he's providing the energy necessary for activity to continue. But that doesn't put anything in your belly. So your mind is in your stomach is still like, I'm hungry. I loved that they were that detailed, just even in the description. And they do that with a lot of things here. It's like they start with this baseline of, oh, the legend of heroes, and just like these super vanilla simple things that would be perfectly at home in in like a classic JRPG like Final Fantasy, and then they build on them in such a cool way with how they describe everything. It's great.
Yep.
Baby.
So to clean it, it drops it in a pit of beetles, which was not well animated, and I thought he was dropping it to die, and I got scared for a whole second.
And then he's
There's a-
like, "Don't worry, they're not going to hurt you. They just want to eat your poop."
It was a long drop for a baby, okay? And I see
was
a
a
baby
really long
dropping,
drop.
and as a dad, I'm like, catch the baby. Anyway, so he's like, I need human help. This is like the least mutilated corpse, and they were pretty strong. They scratched my horn, so he brings Alicia back to life, and literally by filling her with his own dark
There's
ichor.
another reason he brought her to life instead of the
Oh
others.
yeah, that's right. It's
She was the only woman amongst the 13.
she was the only
Yes.
woman, and he needs
I
breast.
love.
He needs breast milk, and he's like, "You
Yes.
have breast, eat baby." She's like, "Nope,
That's not
that
how it
doesn't-
works.
Oh,
not how
that
this
was
works."
so
And he's
good.
like, "Yeah, it does." And
Oh, okay, so just one point of clarification. Alicia's dead. She
Yeah.
life has ceased. So when he brings her back, he resurrects her with this dark ichor. So when she doesn't have the dark ichor, she reverts back to dead. And that wasn't
Yep.
quite like it was implied heavily at the beginning. Now I'm thinking about it. But if you're thinking, oh, maybe because she didn't take what looked like a super fatal blow, she just lost limbs and bled out. But in anime, a lot of times you can see characters lose limbs and they're not quite dead for quite some time. Yeah, that's not the case here. So, but yeah, so because she's like, no, he's like, well, because you're me now, I can just make you do what I want.
yeah, that is the other thing. He has full control over when he wants to. She also has lost her sword. They're called, what are they called?
Regalias.
Yeah, they're regalias. I had theories about the regalias, and I'm not sure how I feel about it now. It's just the crystals they use to make the regalias are from the mountains where the dark beasts are, and a lot of the regalias powers seem to be animal spirits coming out.
Yes.
But then there was one that, like, the first animal you kill, you get its soul. So I couldn't tell if the crystals are just animal souls being kept, or if the regalias themselves just steal souls from other animals.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah,
And I think that's why each time they describe, like when they introduce the heroes, they're like, she's Cave Swallow and he's this, because I think that was what they killed first. Now I don't have an explanation for Stream Splitter then, because I don't know. Maybe that's a beast we haven't encountered, but it sounds more like a verb.
Stream
Okay.
Splitter might be an attack from a dark water beast.
So he named it after the attack instead of the beast that he killed. That's possible.
And not all of them were like animal. Like her first regalia wings grow out of her sword, and she
Like a bird,
shoots a blast. Yeah,
Well, and it's called cave swallow though,
right.
but like
which
they
makes sense.
swallow a bird.
If a cave swallow monster is what she killed, it would have wings, would
Huh.
have power.
I just didn't
Almost
know
like
what
it to be an animal.
I didn't know what the crystals were coming from Dark Beast dying. Like they die in becoming like of old age. But
Well,
when
that's possible, but she did say that it was like they grow in better quality and density out here, so that is very possible. And like the ones that they're trying to harvest elsewhere,
They
that could
suck.
be like oil from the older generations that died off, right?
but they do literally call out her dad's sword. Whatever you kill first, it will get. But I couldn't tell if that was special to that sword or just Regalia 101.
It's kind of sounded like the king crafts these weapons and then leaves them in like a half completed state and said, okay, now it's your job to go finish it. And I think that's a common thing, or at least that's what it felt like. It's like, this is the ceremony.
Yeah.
Anybody that's taking on the hero and title and taking a regalia, you need to go finish your regalia so that it's like unique to you, which is why all the weapons end up being unique to their users.
That's how I took it. We could be wrong, but
Yeah,
that's what I assumed.
That's definitely how I was seeing it once the flashback for Drell and the dad came. And I was just trying to hold on to my theory a little bit, but anyway. After an embarrassing moment where we learned that how breasts actually work. So a lot of talk about breastfeeding in an anime, probably the most I've ever seen. I just thought that was interesting. She's like, okay, you need to get a wet nurse, which is someone you can hire in town who is able to produce, and hire them, and they will be able to feed the baby. So that's what they're going to go do.
And
that's
and
when
then he's like, okay, well, let's go get one. She's like, well, we need money. We can't just tell them to do it, unless you're going to force them. And so he's like, oh, well, here's all this stone you like, right? And so bring this huge bag of like super valuable, what is it, sanite or calcinite or arcanasite.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the red rock that they make the swords out of. And so it's like they're bringing an unbelievably high quality, huge amount into town. It's like, oh, that's not going to be inconspicuous.
Yeah.
And this is where he takes the human form based on the boy who fits him to raise the baby, except for his horn still showing. He cannot get rid of his horn and his tentacles, but he hides those in the shadows.
The detail I really like throughout the entire anime, in his human form, he still has the scar that she put on his horn.
Yep.
I didn't notice. That's awesome.
Yeah, even in the last episode when he's talking, it's like there's that little scar.
Now, we're told about all the races that live here early on. The only ones we really care about are the Derns, which are humans, and they have two factions, red and blue. And yes, they have real names, but I just wrote red and blue. And then there's the Hydians, who are elves. They're
Hydens?
Hydians, yeah. They're just elves.
Mostly
like,
half elf now.
They're like
yeah.
Zelda elves.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they have like dark noses, and
they do have dark noses.
Yeah.
They remind me of Final Fantasy 14 elves. And whatever the other little creature is.
Oh, dodos?
I don't know.
Oh no, those are chocobos.
Anyway,
no.
They bathe in a river. They can do some cleaning up. And this is where Alicia realizes this little baby he's holding onto is the royal prince because of his blanket. And she immediately reveals that to Clevatess. He's Clen now. Reveals that to him, and he's like, oh, well, that's cool. I'll make it the king, and then I'll be in charge. And I'll see how that works. That's how I learn about humans.
One thing I'm loving about their relationship, especially in a couple episodes, is that there will be information that Clevatess is just not privy to because he doesn't know anything about human society. And he gets upset at Alicia because he's like, why didn't you tell me? This is important information. You should have known to tell me this. And she's like, what are you talking? I barely know about it myself. But I think what I really like about this river scene is she quickly comes to the realization that, oh, I'm his slave now. Like he doesn't treat her badly, but like whatever he tells me to do, whether I want to do it or not, I'm doing it. Like I'm his. Basically, I'm his zombie, and he's my necromancer.
Brawl. Exactly.
You have a very low bar for treating her badly. Yeah, he doesn't beat her or anything, but he does send her to her death and not care if she dies.
Oh, 100%.
Multiple times.
But he knows that she's not going to like perish because he is
at one point he walks
Dark
out, he's like, "You're alive still? Wow."
Yeah. I think what I really liked about this scene was when she realized, oh, I said too much.
Yes.
I shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't have said it. But
I was thinking that the whole time.
But also realizing, oh, this baby's now like super important because if something happens to the baby, he's gonna go Cthulhu on us.
Yeah, that was really good to.
And so
to see
baby
her grasp
becomes
that and say it.
yeah, so baby becomes key to some sort of, control over keeping Clevatess, rational.
Yeah.
And the episode ends with bandits approaching them, and I was like, all right, here we go. Power Fantasy 101. Send some weaklings after the OP guy. And even she says that. She's like, well, they must hope they live good lives because they're done. And then they hit Clen, and he is down on the ground bleeding and unconscious. And she's like, wait, what? And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, that's a great expectation subversion. That's a great swerve. And then they knock her out too. She's like, I'm immortal. Yeah. Oh, I'm unconscious.
Yep. Yeah, and when she comes to and he's sitting in there, this is where I was thinking, okay, he could get out anytime if he wants. Yeah. He's here to observe. He doesn't know anything about humans. He doesn't know anything about bandits. So he's just like, I'm here for the ride. Let's see what these people are like.
So it seems to me it has to be the Clevatess body and the Clen body are separate beings that he has control of both.
That's not what he said.
Because he talks about, hey, I didn't realize how weak the human body I was in is, and he did get knocked unconscious. Now it didn't hurt real Clevatess at all, but the Clen body is unconscious, and he's just like, I didn't realize they could do that to the human body. I didn't realize you guys were so frail.
Yeah, I guess you're right in a sense that they are not one and the same. But when he first turns into the human form, like he's got tentacles still. Like wailing, waving around. And so he says specifically, oh, I'm just hiding the rest of my body in my shadow realm. And I think
he's an anglerfish.
But later,
he seems to be able to travel through any shadow anywhere.
But later, they both exist in two separate places at the same time.
True.
Think of it as like anywhere there's a shadow, he can create something. And so if he creates just a shell that looks like him inside there, looks like his original body, it's not necessarily him. It doesn't have all of his
he did say it was a part of him though.
Yeah, but he doesn't have two entities that are running at the same time. He has one entity at a time. And so when he was the Clevatess monster and he was out there going towards Drell, there was no human. He retracted the human into the world because I believe that his consciousness only can control one active entity of himself at a time. And so when he's being the human, well, he's sucked back under and he's just got like the little anglerfish light bulb sticking out, which is the human, right, to interact with the weaklings. But that doesn't mean that he can't leave like a mass, an inactive mass that is not aware inside of that globe.
But he's trapped in a bubble of blood.
He's not trapped.
Okay.
I guess that kind of makes
it look like it's trapped. He's even said later, he's like, it's more convenient for me if they think I'm there because now I can do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about them.
So what is in there?
Like I said, it's just
an empty shell. Husk. Yeah,
it's a husk.
It's just Gart thought it was real too.
No, he said that there was energy, but it was not as much. Like there was something about it not being. I think that Gart said in the sub that it was not the full entity or something. I can't remember how he put it, but I even got the impression that it wasn't as bad as it looked.
And the dark ichor inside Alicia kind of makes sense as far as being able to control portions of his body, but that his consciousness seems to be in one spot at a time.
That's right, because little puppy Clevatess
Yeah.
can come out while he's active in the other one too. But that's almost more like a radio he's using, it seems.
Yeah, because it's literally just dark ichor that has taken a puppy shape. And
It's
he
pronounced
also
ichor.
talks inside of her.
It's pronounced
Or-
ichor.
In the sub or dub, it's in the dub, it's pronounced ichor.
So in English, we say ichor.
In the sub, it's ichor. Well, it's so funny because ichor is that's how I've always heard it pronounced. So that's interesting.
No, that's a character in Frankenstein.
Not Igor, ichor.
Oh, my
but-
bad.
Yeah, but the fact that he can speak directly into her mind as well, like you're saying about it being like a radio signal,
And
that's
in reverse.
dog.
Yeah.
And reverse, yeah. That's how I took the dog to be.
All right.
Yep.
All right, at the bandit camp, they are separated. Alicia is taken to the boss, whose name is Veroko. He is a magic leader, except for it's insinuated he's not the real boss. That he's just current, like he's like second in command, and the real boss is away. So I'm the boss in all the ways that counts. I'm assistant to the manager. He has a dark beast that he has tamed under control through magic. And he recognizes that Alicia is a hero, and he's like, okay, guys, get her regalia so we can sell them, because we make fake regalias, but the real stuff sells better. Also, you can do horrible things to her, because this is a dark fantasy anime. We must make those comments.
One of the things I liked about the way they write the story and like the way the dialogue goes is it didn't feel like some sort of expedition dump. He goes through a logical process, because he doesn't know who she is, but he goes through a logical process of, well, heroes were sent to the mountain, we know that. You came from this direction, and also like, why are you in this area? Oh, you got off the mountain, didn't you? You're a hero. I did like that it wasn't just like, oh, I recognized your face from a poster.
Yeah.
And it should be noted that the 13 heroes going to that mountain was like a national event. Like everyone knows about it. It says, hey, we're doing the thing, guys. It's time for the thing we've always wanted to do it. Because it comes up later. All right. She's taken over to their quarry. Meanwhile, Glenn and the baby are working in the tavern. The baby is he's not working, but there's a slave there who can produce, and so the baby's gotten to eat. And Glenn first saves her from some bandits that are just beating her for no reason, because they do that to her. This is Nell. Let's get your guys' thoughts on Nell before I give my thoughts on Nell. This is a hard character to talk about.
When we are first introduced to her, it just kind of sets in the gravity of the world that we're existing in. She's got very few teeth left. She's obviously been abused in multiple ways. She's not drawn in a way that would be provocative. Like she's hefty, right? Big boned, but also like her speech patterns are messed up because her mouth has been so messed up from abuse of her over years. And then when we find out about her backstory, you're just like, ugh, like this is all she's ever known is this bandit camp. And that her mom was protecting her until mom wasn't there anymore. Who knows what that means? And for her to still have a kind heart due to her naivety. She has no education. She has no social skills to speak of, because the only people she's interacted with are these scumbags. She has no concept of human civilization because she doesn't know what civilization is. They present this character so realistically, and it's heartbreaking. And that's why when she's later on, she's given powers and she doesn't even realize it or know how to use them. And I loved that. It was just like, she didn't become, because she was in a bad state. Now she's brilliant and she can do anything. No, she's still Nell. She just, you know, she's in a better spot now. And she brings such a gravity to the anime, and it was such a great decision.
Yeah. When I was thinking about which character was my favorite, I kept seeing Nell in my mind, and I was like, okay, not my favorite character. I just have, she's so endeared to me. Like, because of what we see her go through and the kind of indomitable spirit that she has. And that, like you said, her naivety, it's it's still present. It's always there. She's so simple and yet so sweet. Um, and I think that it even touches Clevatess, because it's really fascinating that during one scene he does not stop horrible things from happening to her, but then he kills the guys responsible for it as they leave silently. And this is at a time where he's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to intervene. I'm not going to use any powers. I'm not going to make myself visible. But what he saw was enough for him to have compassion and be like, yeah, no, these guys got to go. Um, and then he moved in, and yet even after that, he's like, join us or don't join us, or whatever.
Well,
But
he even made a comment like, I don't have your standards, but even I could tell that she was being treated poorly. Like,
even among
that
humans.
was, yeah.
Exactly. And so I thought she was great. I really enjoyed how she just, she was so trustworthy and would not break. That's really, I like characters like that.
I'll start with, I really like the character Nellaroo. I think because her name's going to become Nellaroo, and that's really who the character is. Nellaroo is very sweet, almost a little generic in her because of her naivety. It's not anything you haven't seen before. But as Nell, this anime gives itself an almost impossible task. It's like, okay, we need a character who can breastfeed,
Yeah.
has a logical reason to be able to do that, and will join the party and walk away from whatever she's doing to always be with the party and join the team. The character shows up and you're like, oh, here's the new, not only have we seen her in the OP, but here's the new character to the story. It's very clear she's a main character. The way they draw her, the way the bandits clearly treat her, the English dub voice, it's so much. And again, a lot of this you have to do. Okay, they set themselves, they have to get a breastfeeding character. But I mean, child loss is tough. Now you're throwing in rape and abuse and all this other stuff all into one character. And then at the end of the day, she pops up as Nellaroo. She's had weight loss, her teeth are fixed, and she's just a happy-go-lucky character.
Not a lot of weight loss.
I mean, she's still breastfeeding.
Just a little bit.
Well, but no, even her midsection, like, she's not particularly smaller than.
She's now an attractively drawn character, is what I mean.
Because her face is fixed.
And
she did lose a little bit of weight too. Like, she is definitely more attractive as a character after, she gets the rogue white patch.
Sure.
Again, I like the character. This is the part where I was telling my wife, I got to this part of the story. She's like, maybe I don't need to know the whole anime. It's tough to swallow. I don't know how else they could have done it. I don't think they did it badly. This part definitely felt like slamming into water after a too high a dive. But again, it's not like I was like, oh no, you should leave the story. I'm like, I'm glad she's here. She's a great character. I also love the super strength. That's an amazing thing to give her. I felt bad she was carrying everything. I'm like, you've had the worst life ever. You don't carry anything. You walk on roses from here on out. But Oh, she can't even feel the weight. She's literally got superhuman strength now.
And she
That was
doesn't
cool.
realize it either, which is
Then-
funny because
yeah.
there's a moment where like, oh, let me help you with your bags. Oh my god.
Yeah. Two big
That's
boys
very-
have trouble.
It's a very obtuse answer, right? I'm just saying it was tough for me to watch. It kind of put me into a very uncomfortable zone of this part of the story, but still came out liking the character in the end. I guess is
Well,
the
you-
best way to put it.
Yeah, you're not alone. This was where like we watched the first 3 episodes, and Tanya did not want to come back and watch anymore.
Mhm.
She was like, "This was too painful. I don't want to see anymore. If the whole anime is going to be like this, it's too much for me."
Which fortunately it's not.
No.
You know, we've seen other anime that deal with harsh topics like this. I think they did it better than say Goblin Slayer. Like,
Yeah, they weren't reveling in it, but again, you have to have a character who breastfeeds. They can't have their own baby so that they can join the party. They can't have a husband around. There can't be like a dad who wanted the kid. So okay, well, you had to do bandits, you had to do rape, you had to do baby death.
yeah, it's rough.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yep.
Okay. He's like, "Hey, would you like to join me?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna draw this out. This isn't
Yeah.
Well,
this isn't gonna be like a 2-episode arc. This is a
It would have been too easy.
it made sense though, because from her perspective, he didn't explain anything. He just asked her to join them, and she's just like, "Where are you gonna go? You're a slave too."
Yeah.
absolutely they don't write anything that doesn't make sense. There's always a logical
Yes.
A to B, 100%. But from a pacing, the fact that we spent so long in this bandit camp, I was just like, we're still here. Okay. This is a new character introduction. We could bang this out in 2 episodes.
I think more was introduced than just a character. There was the sword.
Yeah,
That was an important element that had to be added.
Alicia getting used to her new powers.
I would have liked to have seen the sword have its own arc.
The leather armor became very important later.
Super.
We
We'll get
needed
to
to
that.
see where the leather armor came from.
All right.
Yes.
Alicia in the quarry, she finds out, hey, there's the super sword is in there, and so
Regalia.
the bandits throw people or convince people to jump into it, even though it's full of monsters. Dark
Convinced by holding their family hostage.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. So yeah, the second in command guy, the boss of the place, he's into selling like fake regalias to people.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you did. I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's one of the big reasons they're like trying to get at regalias. He even like asks Alicia, like, where are the 13 swords? Like, I want to know where they are because I want to go retrieve them so I can go sell them. So yeah, this is rough because even the wife's like, go get it, honey, you can do it.
No,
He's doing great. And then yeah, he's just being eaten.
stay out of the water. I love that the creatures, when they eat him, they literally come up and hold him in front of the wife and rip him apart. It's like they
It's like
almost
Jurassic
seem-
Park scene.
Yeah, like they almost seem malevolent. Like they want you to suffer.
And then the bandits who are holding her, like, we're gonna do horrible, horrible things to you. And then she's like, well, no, you're not. I'm knocking us down. The guy who's trying to do it, who's blind, there's like a blind guy. Is like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
She's
stuff
like,
to you
"Now you're
blindly. Yeah, sends both her and him down to the bottom of the quarry where their bodies are crushed. But of course, she's kind of immortal. But then we get to find out healing's not fun for her.
There's a cost.
Yep.
Which I love. I love regenerative powers that hurt. You know,
Yeah.
when everything just snaps back into place and they're like, "Oh, I'm good to go." But when it's a bone you hurt the entire time your bones are healing, and then amplifying that to in a few seconds. Love it when they address that.
I also really like the fact that the guy that attacked them seemed like he was going to be an important enemy, which in most anime that would be drawn out, and you'd have like an episode or an episode. and a half
I'm
to
the
fight him.
I'm the blind
Yeah.
master knife fighter.
Yeah. Instead, it's like, nope. First few minutes of the next episode, and he's dead.
Um, after that, she's this is where she finds out about her healing powers, and little blood puppy comes out of her chest. Is like, what did you do? Why are you hurt? Anyway, I know you're about to be murdered and raped by bandits, but I need some advice on how to talk to a woman. He's asking like, "Hey, I asked Nell to join us, and she said no. What's the deal with that?" And she's like, "You're a slave. Why would she believe anything you said?" Much like they pointed out, the logic is sound, and she has to explain that to Clevatess.
And then he's like,
And then,
"Oh, by the way, killed them all."
yeah, I need you to kill
Yeah.
all these bandits so we can get a move on. Uh, so he helps her finish healing, and then she does start fighting them, but she doesn't really have a weapon, and she's getting overpowered. She runs out over the water on a scaffolding on the quarry wall, and they all chase her, and then she knocks off the scaffolding, jumps in a barrel, sinks underwater, goes all the way down, finds the sword, is on a giant fish, grabs the sword. The sword has magic water powers. So she water flies all the way out of there. And then she's like, bye, bandits. And we don't feel bad because they were rapists.
That's right.
I love that she's like, "Oh, drowning sucks, and I can't
Yeah.
die." She's
Yeah.
like, this hurts a lot.
Yep. I also love that they were clever enough to have her hide inside of a barrel as she was sinking to the bottom, because everybody else that was falling in was getting eaten. These creatures
Eaten by the
clearly
dark
know
beast.
what to look for, and that was great. It was very
Oh,
clever. I did
and
not
then-
expect it.
Yeah, and at the bottom, she found another god.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was the giant fish. And he comes up when she steals the regalia, and that's who starts killing all the bandits. And she's like, they're like, save us, have mercy. We won't be rapists no more. And she's like, nope, sorry.
That's
You
what
lost
rapists say.
the audience is okay with you dying, so I'm leaving you here. And she's like, that technically counts as murdering all the bandits. And even later, Glenn calls her, is like, you technically murdered all the bandits, so good job.
All we needed.
Meanwhile, Nell has talked to the lady in the tavern, who's like her big sister / boss, not real big sister, just has taken care of her. About, hey, they offered me to leave, and then she flies into a jealous rage. The boss overhears, is like, hey, no, come with me, and he takes her down into his mine where he murders people, and he's gonna feed her to the dark beast. And then Cleanse there is like, oh, that's happening. And then he has to battle the dark beast because it's under control by Franco. This is where he finds out magic exists, which at this point just looked like, they even pointed out, it's almost just herbalism.
Yeah.
They-
like alchemy than magecraft.
Right.
This is one of the better scenes. So Dark Beast eats just gulp.
Yeah.
Like take like a hand flies off, a foot flies off. And then Dark Beast, even though it's under control, sees Clen and realizes, oh, that's Clevatess, and starts to like lose it. It's just like, oh, I'm in a bad spot, and he didn't want me to do that. So he throws her up, going, maybe if I get her out, then everything will be fine. You'll leave me alone, right? Nope.
Well, in the sub, Clevatess said, "Oh, he got so scared he barfed." I took that to be that his nerves, because of the fear of Clevatess, not smart enough to actually like try to.
Yeah,
buy
because I
his
thought
way
he kept
out of it.
attacking.
Huh?
I thought he keeps attacking even after
Well,
he's
he
been
does
hurt.
later. Yeah, but
Okay.
at first he just stands there nervously.
Yeah.
freaking out.
Like, oh,
But-
this is bad.
But this is what's so weird to me. So that, and I'm sure this is not an inconsistency. I'm sure there's something I'm missing. But this troll seemed to recognize who Clevatess was, but Gart doesn't later. Like Gart doesn't even realize how much power Clevatess has. But this troll, this no-name troll, does.
I can't remember. Did they say he recognized him as Clevatess or just a powerful dark beast?
Might be just a powerful Dark Beast.
Even just a powerful dark beast, Gart thought that he was a human.
Yeah, but Gart's also pretty powerful because he's like, right hand to the Beast of the North, I think. No, West.
West. Yeah, West.
That just means that he should even more notice the difference in power between Clevatess.
He
and
didn't seem
regular
particularly
humans.
smart, though.
I guess that's true. He seemed more obtuse than anything. Like
He was
he
intelligent.
didn't pay attention to anything he didn't care about,
Right.
and he
Okay.
came to conclusions.
That I
of-
agree with. Clen's like, "Hey, Alicia, get back here! You didn't tell me about magic, you jerk, and I need your help." But when she gets there, he's killed the Dark Beast. He's defeated
yeah.
it.
Nell's barely alive.
Yeah, and with the baby, but Vroko gets away and grabs the baby. Nell,
Oh, that's right.
dying, holding onto her.
So Clan
then-
is like, "Oh, you're still kind of like, here, baby, comfort her. I got stuff to do."
I'm gonna sit you down in stomach acid, but I've neutralized the acid, so it's okay.
Yes.
And then like pushes him down the tunnel out of sight so that he can fight. Yeah. Anyway, Alicia and Clen confront Vroko, and he's like, well, they're like, "Hey, we'll give you the regalia. We'll make trades. Give us the baby." And he's like, "No, I recognize what the baby is. Everyone recognizes what the baby is. It's clearly, there's not many of these left."
King baby.
King baby. So he's like, "I'm going to use invisibility magic," and he's talking the whole time, and I'm like, "Well, must be inner monologue."
I was
It was
hoping.
not. It was not inner monologue. Alicia cuts him in half, and she's like, "You're talking out loud, and the baby's crying." What
Of course, I know where
idiot.
you are.
He's like, "I'm using invisibility magic. They won't be able to see me." All right, dude.
Yeah.
Show your death.
Yeah.
And then Alicia convinces Clen to revive Nell, which he has to use Alicia's dark ichor, so she dies, and repairs Nell. Alicia wonders later, did he repair her with other body parts? He used the troll. He used the dark beast troll to give her. That's where their strength is coming from. She's part troll now.
I do love the scene where Nellaroo wakes up and she looks over and Alicia's almost rotted away. She's gray, like starting.
Yep.
This is where Nell's name becomes Nellaroo. I'll probably still call her Nell, but just FYI.
Yeah.
All right. In the next episode, they're leaving. Nell's carrying all the luggage with her super strength, and then a stranger jumps at Clev because he thinks he's one of the bandits. He's mad at the bandits, and this is Gart, who ends up being a disguised. He's the Dark Beast, also in human form, but he works for the Western Dark Lord, who's a lady with giant wings who also likes to appear human. Like with no other humans around, and she talks about how we have peace treaties with the humanoids and we have deals, but it sounds like they're breaking them. So all bets off. We need to start looking.
Murder everybody.
Yeah. She's also that's what Gart is doing. Are we going to wipe out humanity ourselves? Seems to be a Dark Beast thing to do.
Right.
Yep. It's actually really interesting because it makes me wonder just how many people aren't people.
I do love the flashback of she's like, what was it? We found these things. They're obviously breaking the treaty. Do we need to bring the elders in so we can talk to them? She's like, nope, we're just murder them.
Yeah, I can't trust them. Nope.
Alicia finds a normal sword because Clen took hers. Can't have a magic sword waving around.
We're confiscated it.
Yeah. So she gets a normal sword, and let's talk about the leather body armor. Hey, look, leather body armor. It's a brassiere and a couple straps and like a wristband.
I love it. It's such a video game. It's so good. But then later, her clothes get all torn up, and the only thing covering her and protecting her bits is the leather armor. And I'm like, that's why there's leather armor.
No, because the leather armor also got sliced open down the middle.
No. Well, it got sliced, but it still stayed enough, covered enough.
Only because of gravity.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
and censorship.
If it wasn't there would have been,
My issue with this is that they're like, hey, we can be so dark and real as to have all these topics we've talked about. Then you also don't get to have sexy armor. You pick a lane.
To be fair, she put it on top of her clothing.
She did, but it's not protecting anything. It's dumb.
It is. It's got little belts.
It's got belts.
Haven't you ever heard of barbarian armor? Later. Barbarian armor, even for men, is very minimal.
Yeah, you get a higher dexterity check.
I didn't like it.
Anyways, now they've got funds.
because it played into
Yeah, she finds money.
the story that
Yep.
they were telling. Like, this is the genre.
Gart comes crashing through the wall after he had attacked Clen and attacks Alicia, and then Clen walks in. It's like, everyone stop. Let's talk about this. There's no need to be fighting. You're a dark beast. I know what's going on. And yeah, this is where we find out he's there scouting from the west and whatnot. He's like, okay, what about magic? Alicia's like, yeah. Oh no, they talked about the babies are disappearing. Not only are human babies now disappearing, which they find out from the barmaid, and is why the tavern wench was murdering the babies that were born to the women in the bandit camp. But the dark beasts are also having their younglings and children be stolen, which is why Gart was sent out in the first place. And if they're going to steal our babies, we're going to wipe out humanity. That seems like a little fair. I'm good.
Yeah, that's
But
straightforward.
I mean, I think you got to prove that it's the humans doing it, but
which
yeah.
is what Gart's doing. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Point A to point B.
Sure. Alicia's like, okay, I think it's wizards. So this is where we learn about wizards, because magic has been recently coming back into vogue. It sounds like they had it, it became legend, and now they've rediscovered it. Again, a lot of it's just herbalism and alchemy, like you said, but there are some real wizards. And
They
she calls out
embed
whoever
the
has the
stuff in their skin in order to get it.
only
Yeah.
the red team does that. Blue team does old school.
Oh,
Yeah, they
So-
make like enchanted grenades.
Yeah, the
Oh,
example
right,
they
right,
show
right.
was throwing chemical grenades at each other. Hey, I have acid. I have this fire. But yeah, then we meet the red team, and they're like, "Yo, I have magnetism powers, and I can control all bugs." So they're clearly on another level, which is why they are the better fighting force at this point. It's kind of the thing.
We also see at a certain point where she's trying to feed Luna. One of the wizards is trying to feed Luna a little circular thing, and she explicitly says, this is either going to make it reveal Luna's powers, if Luna has any magic powers, or kill it and kill the baby. And so
that's the other thing. Elves have natural magic powers typically.
Yeah, and so
or pure blood.
It makes sense that that's probably why the kids are disappearing. I don't know how the dark beasts factor into it, except maybe as like familiars or puppets. But
maybe making super regalia in mass.
See, that's one of the things I was wondering, if the regalia were actually made from, lives, like were the babies a part of the forging process, which didn't turn out to be the case.
Right.
At least I don't think so.
In fact, I don't know if we ever find out why the babies were being taken.
That's what I think. I think it's the wizards.
That's a season 2 thing.
Yeah, and they turn into new wizards or just disappear because they died from the medicine. I think that's what's happening. That's my theory, at least.
This is where we first learned about General Drell, who killed Alicia's father. He is the villain of this arc. Your guys' thoughts on General Drell?
Pretty good. I like his backstory, that he basically coerced into being a puppet. And so what's really cool about Drell is it's like all the top dark beast lords are playing a political game with the humans. I found that absolutely fascinating. You've got one that's puppeting Drell to lead a nation's army. You've got another one that's doing peace treaties and trade. And then you've got another one that's like, oh yeah, I forgot they existed. I haven't seen one in 1,000 years. I'm just like wondering what is the Lord of the East like? Do they have any?
I'm sure
play here. So that's fantastic. But yeah, Drell himself, I like his motivation, that he looks at the world, he looks at what's going on, and it lines up with the Dark Lord who's controlling him. Spoiler. enough to where he looks at the situation. He's like, this is BS. Why do we keep sending people to die based off of a legend that nobody has verified and hasn't seen for hundreds of years? We need to burn the system down. That's a really cool motivation. And then also I love his power. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, he's the kind of bad guy that you love to hate. Like, it's funny because in the previous show where we did To Be Hero X, there were characters that I hated them so much on screen, and that made them good villains too. But for this guy, he wasn't as hateable. Like, yeah, he was horrible, but he wasn't as bad. Like you're saying, Jason, I could understand his perspective a little bit better. And he was also clearly not a hero, so that made a big difference as well. But I really wonder. I've been struggling with how much did he already know that he was being puppeted? Like, when did he realize it? Did he know it from the start? If he did know it, how did he think that he was going to get away with finding some method to defeat the Dark Lords while being puppeted by a Dark Lord? Like, there's some holes in his thought process.
Of course.
But maybe that's part of the puppeteering. Maybe it poked some holes in his brain matter. I don't know. It had to make room for those eyes. But yeah, I don't know. He was a good character. He really surprised me when he trapped Clevatess.
I
He seemed
really
overpowered a lot though.
I really liked that he's not all villain, but he's definitely more on the villain side, right? And then like the same thing we come to find
by the end.
But we also find out the people that he's attacking, the Haydens, like the king was not all good either. He was not a good guy. And I like that the motivations, even though some, like with the king, yeah, his motivations weren't great, but his kingdom was doing pretty good, and until he pissed somebody off. But
pick the fight.
Right. And so yeah, I like that there's some depth in not just I want to rule the world, or I'm gonna save humanity, or
in the last couple episodes he did say, I'm gonna destroy the world.
So I don't understand the reference to his kingdom's doing pretty good, so it's fine that he's being a puppet to a giant book.
No, what I'm saying is from appearances, it looks like he would be the good guy versus the bad guy, but underneath, behind the scenes, that's not the case. That's what I'm saying. I like that there's some depth, that this dude's not a good guy, and then Drell, even though he's been doing some pretty evil stuff, he didn't start with a purely evil motivation to begin with.
Right. I agree with that. I like that Drell is almost a victim of his own ideals. Like
yes,
I want to make the world a better place, end up with a Dark Lord in my brain, and now I'm trying to commit genocide to save the world. Yeah, and we find out he's almost absolutely right. In his beliefs. Hey, this hero legend thing is why we're trapped. It's part of the prison. We have to remove that if we're going to get free. And now we've rediscovered magic, and I can trap a Dark Beast Lord in a bubble. There's logic to his thing, but he's clearly gone way too far, and he's clearly now just a puppet. It does seem like he's not fully aware that he's being puppeted. The eyes are popping out of his head. He's not like, what are those? I think he's just, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Everything's fine.
I'm getting more magic power.
I do love a villain who's like, oh, you defeated me. Sorry, I'm actually the sword. This flesh, this is just extra. This is just topping. Doesn't matter.
Also, what I loved is that Alicia and him go to battle, and it's not the Dark Lords going to battle. They're sending their puppets to go do it. And I'm just like, that's so cool. Like, why get my hands dirty? I've got stuff to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue Army realizes that Red Army is heading for the Hydians, Hermione
Hiding
Granger.
for the Hermionians.
Can I call them the look? I want to call them the Hyruleans so bad. Every time I see
know.
them, I think Zelda, and they're the Hydians, and it's like it's so close.
It's
All right.
it's also like they're the Hidens and they're hiding things. Like it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many weird little things here that either work perfectly with old video games or um, plays on words.
Okay, so Drell gets a lead on where because they're looking for Luna because they want to take control of the Forge. Everyone's like, "Hey, the Forge, you gotta control the Forge. It has the super weapons." So he's like, "Hey, where's the baby? We know where the baby. We just heard about the bandit camp. Okay, so I'm sending my I'm sending Maynard. This is an anime character design who looks like I've seen him in every anime in the
Every.
past 2 years.
Boy.
Playing this same character,
Maniacal, evil. I'm
maniacal,
on a
evil,
power
one
trip.
eye
Oh yeah,
from
yeah.
overgrown
The
hair.
insect wizard.
Yeah. Um.
I thought he was like discount Beetlejuice. I mean, I even called it out. There was a point where I was like, I yelled "Subarashi, Subarashi," and then like 30 seconds later, he started yelling it, and I was like, "Yes, yes,
I was like, "What does Michael Keaton have to do with this?" And I remembered ReZero. My
yes."
bad. Because of the bugs.
Right.
Anyway. Um. Okay, Alicia does some scouting and then comes back and tells Glenn what's going on, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go investigate the Red Army," and he sends his beast form to do it. And we see Roy. There's a guy named Royas. He's in the Blue Army. He's trying to stop the Red Army, and we see him every once in a while doing things so that he's still in the story, but not getting much done because he's not
Trying
important.
hard.
Well, and they're also like they're 5-1, right? He's got like
Right.
5,000. Drell has
It-
50.
The scene I'm specifically referencing here is the Red Army's marching through a valley, and they're on a slight slope above them. They're like, "We can get ahead of them. Us three guys. Let's go. Let's go."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, remember me? I'm still here."
All right. So the two girls and the baby go to a town, which they see a couple of the bandits are getting beaten and hanged, and they're like, "Okay, that's fine." So they go to a tavern,
As you
and
do.
yeah, I mean, those guys were pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And,
nice to see that the stragglers got their comeuppance.
Criminal
Yeah,
justice
exactly.
system working as intended.
That's right.
Lynching.
Public
Yes,
executions.
lynching the bandits. That's
the
right.
ladies go to a inn. The mistress of the tavern, asks them a bunch of questions like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" They pass the test and they get to go stay in a room. Meanwhile, a bug sees them, so Maynard knows where they are and he goes after them. We find out this town not happy
Wow.
about heroes. People are mad that the heroes tried to save the day and have brought ruin and destruction on their world.
Yep.
Makes sense. It's the
Yeah.
reaction people have.
But they're also under the impression that because I don't think anyone knows that they're all dead. They just know that they're missing because no one's been up there to verify the corpses. So they're like, I bet that they went up there, pissed him off, and ran off and sold their regalias, or they some sort of underhanded thing.
And I got the impression that that was something that has happened in the past, that
Right.
heroes would get the title just to do that, to sell the regalia. And I remember in the flashback too that we have between Drell and her father, there are other people that go with them up to kill the dragon, and they're wielding regalias, and they just die up there. So like there are a lot of heroes or people that, and I know soldiers get regalia too, but there are a lot of people that, you know, they get these regalias and probably the title of hero and then don't do anything.
I thought they did call out though that the king like took a break and then made a
Yeah.
bunch all at once.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maynard attacks the tavern with his assistant
Oh,
Nae, nay, nay, nay,
yeah.
nay.
Nene.
Um,
Pink Magneto.
yes. Yes.
She I actually really do like her better because she control iron, but she can't touch it when she controls it. So like she'll take an axe, hold onto the handle, and use it to fly. Um, I like that they added this like little extra rule of she can't touch the iron or it doesn't work. So she has to be clever and build around her power. Anyway,
Yeah.
she attacks Nell to get test the baby, see if that's the baby they want to steal. Even though everyone else could just identify it by sight, but they need to test it and make sure. Which is this will either kill him or we'll know he has magic talent. So, seeing a baby in danger, Nell uses her super strength and is able to defeat her. Meanwhile, Alicia gets away from Maynard.
She just pushes it really hard. It's flying into the building next door.
Every time I saw her use her explosive strength, it shocked me. Like how powerful she is.
Yeah.
I every time I was thinking, no, she's not. I mean, she's strong, but she's not that. Whoa.
And then the three of them, so the two ladies and the baby, jump out of the inn from the broken hole and get away. And then, Pink Magneto's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fly. Oh, there's bugs in the way. I can't fly at all." And then she goes down and she's like, "Maynard, they got away." And he's like, "Oh, they got away." And I'm like, "They're just like a block away. You could go. You have a giant bug who's probably pretty fast."
But Maynard's a jerk, Subarashi. He wants to see the townfolk go after her.
Yeah. So he rounds up the townsfolk and he's like, "Hey, that lady with the eye patch, that was a hero because I was there when her dad died and I remember what she looked like. So you all should go hunt her down." The townsfolk are like, "Yeah, we are going to do that." So they do.
The young of the town.
Yeah. I think most, except for the two. Yeah. We have a mob. Get a good mob going.
Yep.
Clevatess, well, actually, the blue guy attacks Drell. He has and the blue guy has an ice spear, and he loses. And then Clevatess shows up, and he stabs Drell immediately. And Drell's like, "Yeah, I knew you would do that. You fell for my trap card." And this is where he's like, "I'm actually the sword, not the body, and here's my containment spell, where all my body is made of dark ichor, which I will trap you in." And he does.
At least it looks like it.
Mm-hmm. I'm still not fully convinced. It's fine. It's fine. Then the tavern lady and her husband confront the mob, and they're like, "Hey, you people, just shut up. I'm gonna talk to them." They're like, "Okay, hero, tell us your story." And she's like, "Being a hero is good, actually." And he's like, "I'm convinced. We should let them live." Basically, just making sure they weren't corrupt. And Alicia gives a very impassioned speech of like, "Yeah, it's freeing ourselves is worth risk." It's a good speech. I'm going fast. But then Maynard attacks.
Doesn't mention being a reanimated corpse controlled by
Or being
the
flung
Dark
so
Lord.
high that she was able to see the curvature of the earth.
I think she mentioned. No, she doesn't mention that, does she? She mentions
No,
that later. Does she mention it here?
Yeah. This is where
Okay.
she's
It
like,
is here.
because she's like, they were like, "You're up there. Did you see it?" And she's like, "Yeah, I saw it. And the world curved and it went on forever."
Well, she didn't say how she got up that high. She just
didn't.
said, "Oh, huh?"
I didn't say she did.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. That she left that part out. The
Oh yeah.
I was
My leg was
I was
missing, and I
flung.
only saw it with one eye, but it was beautiful.
I had that thought. How did you have depth perception? How do you know it's forever? You had one eye.
Yeah, it's probably flat.
Bugs everywhere. I don't like this fight. This fight was, "Oh, I have bugs that are attacking you." And she's like, "Oh no, the bugs are attacking me. What should I do?" And he's like, "Actually, I have other bugs who are also attacking you." And like, "Oh no, what should I do?" "Also, I have bugs who are attacking the villagers. What should you do?" "Oh no, what should I do?" "Also, I have cocoons that are going to attack you sooner. What should you do?" And then little baby puppy Clevatess shows up and he's like, "Here, have the super sword." She's like, "I got super sword." He's like, "Oh, by the way, bugs are water."
I didn't like that.
I don't like that either because it means atmosphere is water. Water's everything.
Everything's water.
And then she does.
abstract with that, you just made an overpowered weapon.
Have you guys ever seen Inuyasha?
Yeah, not
She
all of
does.
it, but good
She
portion.
does backlash wave. And all the bugs die in one swing, and then the fight's over. And then Maynard's like, "Oh, just kill me. I don't care." And she's like, knocks him out, and we never see him again.
Yeah.
That part did irritate me. Why didn't you just murder him? Why didn't you
Yeah.
murder him sooner? Because then
Yep.
bug control guy would have been dead, and you could have dealt with the bugs on your own because they're just dumb bugs. Yeah.
So the
that
thing that bothered you is that she didn't murder him, not that the fact that the story never addresses what happens to him ever again.
Correct.
I would say she didn't execute him. Yeah.
Well, the thing is like there were many times where she could have just ignored the bugs coming at her, and she could have gone for him multiple times. She had plenty
That's
of
what they
space and
do.
time to do it. Yeah. You don't go
You
after
go
the
for the
zombies,
capture,
you
not
go
his
for the
summons.
next necro. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, Tanya and I were both like, why is he not dead? Why did you not finish a double tap right now?
Well, she broke his crystal. He is powerless.
I'm sure he can get another embedded. He is powerless for now, but not enough.
And probably imprisoned by the villagers. They don't seem the type to just let people walk away.
Yeah, you're right. They might have given him some.
Or they
Local
treated him like the
militia
bandits.
justice.
He
right.
would be a prisoner of war and probably should not be executed.
Oh, that's true because he is part of the military of those
of
guys.
a different
Well,
country.
Well,
Yeah,
if they
he
find
probably-
out about it.
Well, I mean,
So you're mad the anime is not committing war crimes now? That's the level of criticism you get on Baka Baka Baka.
well, I mean, I
100%.
do wonder if they've established those things as
Village
It could
justice.
just be normal. Yeah, for them.
Yeah, I this whole fight, which takes way too long, it's the whole episode,
Yep.
and almost nothing happens for the whole episode. This isn't even in the half episode I talked about, but it's still very short. That was rough. Then Glenn shows up and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm fine. Let's do stuff," and they do. Oh, he also Drell's working with the Beast Lord. I figured that out. Is what he says. So we catch up with the princess. The princess is like, "Hey, where's my baby?" And they're like, "Aren't there bigger topics than the king?" No, where's the baby? And she hears that Drell is coming, and she's like, "Okay, well, he has that super regalia, but I have the hammer of the king that can destroy a regalia." And they're like, "Only the king's supposed to use that." She's like, "You see a king? Yeah, right here. Two thumbs and a
I'm the
crown.
Best you got.
I'm the king now." So they prepare for war.
Gets her super secret hammer.
Pink Magneto is captured, and then
She's Thoris.
She can't fly with the hammer or summon lightning. Can't count.
Okay.
These are all Marvel characters. I just can't pronounce this character's name. They capture her, and then they're like, "Hey, do you have this information?" She's like, "No, I won't." And they're like, "Okay." Then she immediately escapes, jumps on a wagon with iron wheels with Nell and the baby, and is like, "Aha! I've tricked you. I'm taking this wagon and flying." And then
Uno reverse
Alicia-
card.
Yeah, Alicia and Glenn are already on it, and like, "Yeah, we were gonna have you do this. This was the plan, so thank you." And then she's like, "All right, I guess I will fly us where you want to go." So she does, and they join the battle where the queen, the princess / queen is fighting Drell. Alicia jumps in to help, even though 3 episodes ago we talked about how she would fight this guy. Her father made her promise, and now she's like, "Yeah, screw it, I'm going in."
Well, Clev
But-
convinced her to.
And
Clev
technically,
said, "Go do it."
technically, he's not the Drell that he used to be.
That's true. Well, he is the Drell that killed her father, which is when he.
Well, I guess that's true.
I have no issue with the character decision here, other than that they don't address that 3 episodes ago. She dropped the line, "I promised my father I wouldn't fight Drell." And even Glenn was like, "That's cool. I get that. I respect." And now he's like, "Hey, go do that. I'm going to go break into the building."
but now that Clean's told her to do it, she can't disobey.
She also wants to.
That's not that.
No, I understand what you're talking about. I do like that they crash land like a helicopter in Battlefield, and because Nellaru's super powered, Clen is a dark beast, and then Alicia, she's got her power. They're all fine, but Pink Magneto is like out cold.
Pink Magneto also has the best line. As they're crashing into Drell, she's screaming, "It's not my fault! It's not my fault! It's not my fault!" I very much like that joke. We do see the princess fighting Drell, and she's like, "I can get to the hammer to touch the sword," but right then Alicia crashes. Right as she's swinging, she's like, "I don't know if I hit it." And I really like that because we're in episode 9, and that's not going to come back up to episode 12. That's a really good
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun, thank you.
Yeah,
it's a really great Chekhov's gun because I completely forgot about it by episode 12. Over multiple days, and so when it paid off, I was like, "Nice."
Respect. Also, I love
so hard.
I know, me too. I do love that Alicia explained, like, yeah, every time I clashed with it, I heard it scream. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I love everything they do with setting up the strategy for how this fight goes. The fact that the princess contributes to the fight, Roy contributes to the fight. Alicia cannot handle this guy by herself. And it is so cool to see how all the different elements strategically play into letting her get the victory. I thought that was so well done.
When she told him to do the ice spear attack, I was like, oh, she's going to write it. Like 100%.
Yeah,
and it paid off. And like, of course she jumps off the thing and starts screaming. I'm just like, why are you screaming? This was supposed to be a surprise attack.
It's just like when Royce is dropping down from Gart, from being carried by the Birdman, he starts yelling as he's coming down with his spear, and I'm like, what is this, an anime or something?
Anime. I did not think she was going to write it. I thought, the person with a water controlling sword is telling the ice person to make ice. Clever, because she can control the ice, and then they didn't do that.
That would have been cool.
And I was like, oh, you did the writing thing. That's fine too.
Well, no,
that's a good idea too.
That wouldn't work because then she'd be able to control gas as well.
Everything is water, and we've established she can control all water, including
inside. Because Clem specifically says, we're all made of like 70% water, even bugs.
What's ice made out of? 100% water.
No, ice is water. It's not made of.
So she can control it.
But it's in a solid form, so she can't manipulate it.
Did it say on the sword, except for when in solid form?
Yes.
I read it. I do think she can control gas. They've given her the power to have all water control.
It's kind of the same issue as like a water bending or water element controlling it, or any of the other elements. Like, it's just.
I always thought Avatar did it good because they talk about that with earth bending. You can control metal because there's impurities in it, but it's really, really hard. You have to be very powerful. Same with blood bending. Yeah, it's not pure water, so it's actually really hard to do, and only a few people can do it. As long as you put limits on it, this has not yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. We got Gart. We got who Jeremy keeps calling Roy, I think.
Yeah, his name is like Roy or Royce or something.
It's a road. It's RHOD.
No, what's his other name? What's his surname then?
Blue guy. I call him the blue guy. Blue ice guy. They meet at Clevatess's blood prison, and he's like, "Hey, can you help me get there?" And he's like, "I can, but you're gonna owe me a favor, and you can't ask how I'm about to grow wings." And he's like, "All right."
No questions.
Well, he's like, I won't betray my country, but since the other option is death, I'll let you, if it comes to death, that's fine. Let's go.
Yeah, his name is Road Royce.
Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. They get there. Meanwhile, Clev gets into the forge. Can't go through the door because the baby can't open it. Despite being pure blood. Even when he poops on it. Great pooping joke.
like troubleshooting. He's like, well, hand doesn't work. What about like his face? No, his foot? No, poop? No, it's not.
Blood on.
So he goes through the fire
The chimney
chimney.
stacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Except for he has to go through the shadows of a brick he throws down because it's so hot. Even he, a Dark Lord Beast, would die from it. And this is when like, okay, so they're definitely forging Beast, but they're not, unless they are. I don't know yet. So he gets down there, and then we get Drell. So there's these two scenes going hand in hand, right? There's Clevatess. Sorry, I wrote Clev as his name in my notes, and so that's his name in my head. Clevatess scene, and then we have Alicia's fight. In Alicia's fight, we get Drell's backstory. 25 years ago, him and the guy he had trained, who's actually better than him, competed for a super regalia. It's Alicia's father. Alicia's father won. They teamed up, and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta go kill this super dragon." So that's what my regalia's power is. When they got,
And everyone calls him crazy too. Like,
yeah, they're like that. Yeah, you can't go after something that big without powers.
and he's like, "Go big or go home."
And then her father takes an arrow to the knee, even though he used to be an adventurer. He loses his leg and
Literally
gives the
trips.
sword to Drell. Drell kills the dragon, and that's when he gets possessed. So is the dark.
So the Dark Lord Dragon just shows up behind him after he kills the Southern Dragon, and Drell is just overcome with a sense of dread and cannot move. And we don't see it, but it's heavily implied. It's like at this moment, the dragon's like, I can use you. We're going to become best friends.
We see another scene shortly after that where there is Drell is standing in a massive footprint and there's a splattered puddle of blood. So I'm pretty sure that it killed him.
He died and then was rebuilt.
It rebuilt
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That makes sense. I do remember the footstep, but
And so that means Drell dragged Alicia's dad down the mountain after that.
I think he said that some villagers found and brought them back, but he may have drugged them part way.
Yeah, but everyone else on the party died.
Yes.
Anyway, Drell has multiple eyeballs now and summons a dragon arm. And then the headless king walks into the furnace carrying the baby, and he's like, "Hey, this is what we do. We throw the kings into the furnace, and then they get reborn, and they're controlled by the furnace. The furnace is intelligent and has a plan. We're all just puppets." And then he throws the baby in, but then Clan's like, "Actually, I had the baby the whole time. I know magic." La, la, la. So the king's like, "Okay, well then I'll just go in." He falls in. Clan shuts off, or the furnace opens, things go crazy, and a book comes out. It's the book of Toa. And the book has a lock and key. They don't go together. It's been here for thousands of years, controlling the kings of this kingdom, and is behind everything that's happening. We also then, in the battle, get Drell talking about how there were real humans in this land, and they had magic, and now they're gone, and everyone that's left behind is just in prison. And both the Dark Beast and the humanoids that are behind. And everyone's just like, "Oh, what are you talking about, dude? This is crazy."
Yeah, it makes it sound like even the Dark Beasts are creations of those original humans.
Right.
But I love that Clen at this point looks at this and he's just completely disillusioned. He's like, this is so meaningless. What am I doing with my time? And he's just like, I'm out. Later, guys.
Right. He literally puts Luna on the ground and is like, so, like, if I'm being manipulated, what choices have I made that were mine? Yeah, I don't want to be in this. I don't care who wins. I don't care what the heroes do. I don't care if Drell wipes them out. Matter of fact, that works better for me anyway. So I'm just leaving. And then the next episode starts. Baby Luna's on the ground crying, and this is where Alicia uses her side of the radio and it calls him names and calls him out, and it's like, "You think the world is gray? Would you need to look into that baby's eyes? Tell me what color they are." And that baby Luna, he stands up and he takes his first step,
So cute.
Was so excited.
It's not just cute. Okay, I wish they had gone more into Clan taking a fatherly role to this baby, because this was huge. This is your first baby. You're super proud, and he does feel that. You can definitely see like, hey, accomplishment of someone I care about. Again, we just didn't earn as much as I would like, but it's good. It's a good moment. And he picks the baby up as her eyes are purple. That's what he says, and he's like, "All right, I'm in." And then Alicia has her battle with Drell. She's missing a hand, so she jumps at the sword sticking to the ground, and the blood reaches out and reconnects and pulls the sword to her.
Nobody thinks that's strange, by the way.
Except Drell, who's like, "You have Dark Ichor too?" Ichor.
It's Ichor.
Sorry, they've said it so many times in this anime. Now it sounds weird to be heard a different way.
Yep, 100%.
They have this really cool clash, and everyone's like, "Oh, she did a great job," and they're like, "Wait, she didn't hit him." And then her chest burst open with blood, and they're like, "Oh man."
Yeah, it's like those famous like two swordsmen pass each other real fast, and like one of them spurts blood. You're like, "Oh, Alicia got him," and then she's just blah.
I should also say she has this hero speech. I think we've already mentioned the hero speech is so good. Yes. She's yelling at both of them, Drell and Clevatess, and talking about like, who cares what the true humans were? They're not here. This is us. We are people. I'm trying to be a hero. Drell, you're just a soldier. You never tried to help people. You never tried to save anyone. You're doing this for your own ambitions and your own. You're not doing good stuff. And I'm obviously not doing it justice. But like I talked about, this episode nails it. This moment nails the theme home, nail into the coffin. Yeah, we didn't build to it fully properly, but we sucked the landing anyway. That's good enough to get points in the Olympics.
And I do like that everyone's like, "Oh, she missed him. Oh no, he hit her." She's like, "No, I didn't miss. I just wasn't going for his body."
Yep. She's already cut him in half once, so he goes to hit her one more time. His sword breaks, and the princess is like, "Oh, I did hit it with the hammer." And he disintegrates slowly, not just like poof, like his skin peels back, his muscles start peeling back to his bones. He's screaming.
And his skull has the 3 eye sockets. Yeah. I thought that was so cool.
And this is where you know for a fact that he knew he was being controlled or being given these powers. Because he even calls out and is like, "No, don't abandon me. Don't leave me."
He also calls out to Alicia's dad in his final moments and gets a vision of him being like, "Let's just go. Let's just be done." Then Clem comes out. Princess sees her baby. She starts running. He's like, "You stop." He knows how to walk now.
Yes.
Okay, it isn't played like that, but it's happens, and it's very cute.
The king must return on his own.
The king must return on his own. Little baby walks to his mommy, and I'm happy the baby's with his mommy, but I really wanted to see a monster raise a baby all the way.
Well, I mean, you still will, because he's going to be the magic advisor. And you know that's going to be
magic advisor is not the same as a parent.
That's true.
Okay. This is horrible. I was really hoping like the other Dark Lord would show up and kill the mom and then be like, "Oh, well, I guess you have to be the parent again." Yes, that's horrible. But again, I'm here for watching a kaiju raise a baby.
Now, this was a great example of tying up the stuff I care about and then leaving enough breadcrumbs and enough questions that I want to see the next season. There's been some recent animes that didn't do that, but this one did a fantastic job of kind of going, okay, this is our main story, but like we don't know about the babies being kidnapped. The book has a key to the lock of the book. What does the book actually say? What was the forge really? And like, we now have 2 instances of 2 different dark beasts killing their host and then or their puppet and then re-raising them. So if that's the case, was the forge also a dark beast killing kings and raising them? you know, there's just enough there that I'm going, oh, I cannot wait for a season 2. But again, the stuff I really cared about, they wrapped up, and I was really happy about that.
Well, not me.
Fine.
He didn't raise a baby. That's all I want to see. Now I have to
Well,
wait a whole nother season.
But he's
and
still
not
a
even gonna
baby.
Raise it.
You can't
gonna
raise a
raise
baby in 12 episodes. Come on.
Let's time skip. I
my
wanted
God.
every episode to be like 2 years later, 5 years later.
Oh,
But
nah.
Yeah, not really, but I just wanted.
you just want you want that anime too.
Okay, a little salamander comes up. He's like, "Hey, I'm a salamander. I'm a bad guy." It's the
I'm
Dark
obviously
Lord,
the Dark Lord.
Dark Lord of the North. He's like, "Hey, you suck. Bokatoa rules." He just threatens him, and Clevatess is like, "All right, I'm gonna kill the salamander now, and I don't care what you say. I'm gonna keep the book, just so you know." It's just a hint that hey, the big bad's still out there,
Yeah, and it's on its way.
and can turn into a salamander. So Clevatess
Or-
seems to
Not the
be.
big bad.
Or
The big bad is
control a
Toa.
salamander.
Yeah, I know the salamander's not the big bad. He was just a little puppet of the monster.
Yeah, that
No,
was
no,
the
the big
monster.
bad
Oh, yeah, Toa and whatever Toa is the big,
Right.
real big bad.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on what Toa is? There anything that, like those letters or word applies to if mixed with something else that'd be like computer programming or other fantasy elements?
My running theory for the moment is that it's doing exactly what Clevatess is doing with Alicia, is that it kills, you know, it gets the royalty to kill themselves, so that he can then control royalty as a puppet, and then that's how they do the forging of the arcanocite. There's arcosite.
Arcanocite.
Arcanocite. That's my running theory.
So you think that the Book of Toa is just a proxy through which another great beast is controlling? Okay.
So, not just that, because so when the forge first opened, Clevatess mentioned, "Oh, there's an entity in there," and then once the king killed himself, the forge disappeared, and so I think the monster disappeared and left behind the book.
I thought he called out multiple times that the book was the one controlling.
Oh,
everything.
okay. Well then, yeah, I think the book's a proxy.
Okay. I was thinking that the book was a magical artifact that was left behind, and that it just had so much potency and so much power. I was thinking maybe because it's a book, it's forcing them to follow what is written, which the prophecy, right? Like this is what's written in this book, therefore this is what you will do. But I didn't think that it had necessarily a true consciousness. To me, it seemed like it was following a script, essentially, and forcing the kings to follow a script over and over again. And it didn't control them in every aspect of their lives, because the king went and told his son, and his son killed himself before he could, become the next king. So clearly, the book, even though it like reforms them, they're left with free will, except as it pertains to what is written.
The hero's legend, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hero's legend. And
But Alicia's also got a decent amount of free will.
true. But I didn't get the sense that there was actually an intelligent entity behind it. But I did, like, I wonder if Toa is another beast, but one that isn't influencing the world right now, and that is on its way back. That's my running theory.
Oh, okay. So if we go with my theory, Toa wants the beasts dead, and it's just been constantly trying to get the other beasts by doing this hero thing.
That is possible. Now, I will also say, when I was looking for the reason why the name Clevatess is used, and I glanced at the wiki, and I also wanted to find pictures. Yeah, I also wanted to find
This
pictures
isn't going to
of
be a spoiler for anyone, right?
the Book of Toa. Well, no, because I won't say, but I found out what it is. So I was wrong. That's all I'll say.
Oh, well, that takes a lot. You could have waited till we weren't recording.
Yeah,
That
thanks.
makes so much fun out of it. I've done it too, though. Not here, not here.
I've never
Uh,
done it.
I will say now that
Tower
I'm a little
God.
stupid because the vibe I'm getting, I don't have really a theory. The vibe I'm getting feels very similar to Attack on Titan. I don't really want to spoil that because it is still pretty recent, but just that the reality that we are presented with isn't the reality that's really there.
Right.
And I don't mean like virtual reality or anything like
Like
that, but just
unreliable narrator.
kind of, yeah. It's just that, especially because they're contained, that's very similar to Attack on Titan. We're in the city. All that's left of the world is us in the city and in the world of Titan. And then, that's not it. That's not what the world's like at all. And it's just from our point of view, this is what reality is. And it feels very similar, like, hey, we can't see past that mountain ridge, but I'll bet it's like this everywhere. And, you get outside and it's New York City or something. I don't know. But that's just the vibe I'm getting, not actually a theory. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Very good.
Clevatess' body that we don't believe is real is still trapped in the orb. Everyone has a conversation about the hero's legend and the Book of Toa. The key doesn't fit it fits the lock, but it won't turn it. So now they need to find other books with other keys and other locks that help maybe open each other.
Or a thief and a good pair of lockpicks.
Call the locksmith. The queen asked to see them. We get a look. I know what I said about Nell. This scene with Nell at the end is great. About, hey, she felt terrible about feeding Royal Prince her horrible commoner milk, slave milk, and the mom's like, you're the greatest hero of all time. All I could think about was my child starving to death, and you're the best ever. And that was a very nice payoff to what had come before. And then Clev's like, he says, you can have whatever you want. He's like, I want to be her magic teacher. Let's go to magic school. Beep, 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 beep. Yes. And then there's an epilogue.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like,
no, go ahead.
I love that when she asked that, he's just like this, like, ooh, anything? Like, no hesitation. He's obviously has no regard for like hierarchies or human systems. So he's got zero hesitation when it comes to like, well, she said anything. So this is
Alicia's like, oh no.
Even though she was considering her request too. She was over there in the corner being like, land, money.
Yeah.
All right. The epilogue post-credit scene is Clen and Alicia, who is now a Hydian in this scene.
Yeah, I found that weird.
I'm guessing he just changed her form for wherever they're going. Because she can't go to magic school. She's a non-magic user. He probably has to disguise her as someone who could do magic.
That would make
they're
sense.
Going into what I assume is Hogwarts. They're not school uniforms, but uniforms. And that's just a teaser for season 2, which, I'll be honest, is much less interesting to everything we have been doing so far. I do not want to do a magic school arc. I want to do a take care of a baby arc 10 times.
Yeah, the idea of him now being a magic advisor to a child old enough to be taught magic is a little bit more generic and uninteresting. I agree.
But baby was returned to mom, so mom's going to take raising from here on out. I mean, that just kind of makes sense from where they went.
But that's where it's like mission fulfilled. If this, you could check out here and be like, that was cool.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but it's still a writer's choice. This isn't a naturally evolving world. A writer,
you wanted mom dead.
No, I'd be happy if mom's like, look, the only way for my baby to be safe is for you to raise it on your mountain and whatever. I just want the monster to raise the baby. That's what I was told we were doing.
That was the premise.
That was what I bought tickets for. I will say the world is interesting enough. I wouldn't be upset about watching season 2. I don't know if I will. It really depends how monster baby connections there are, or if it brings it up again. Okay, that's it. Let's go to final reviews. Jason, you picked it. You got to go first.
It's 5. Animation's gorgeous. I love the callback to the 90s with the style. The music's great. Dialogue's amazing. All the characters, I really liked them. I don't think there was one character I was like, oh, I don't like that character. Yeah,
Maynard.
it was, obviously there were a few nitpicks here and there that we had, but like just high marks all across the board. Would watch again.
5 out of 5 for me as well. 5 for Tanya. It's fantastic. Really enjoyed the world. Only the tiniest of nitpicks. Great art, great fight scenes. Yeah, I would watch more.
I'm gonna get in trouble. It's a 4 for me. I just feel the middle's a little too muddled in its storytelling, a little too slow, and doesn't take the time for story beats it should have. I don't really understand why either. Maybe the original source materials just weirdly doesn't fit anime pacing or something. I don't know. It wasn't like there was a bad story beat. I just wanted a little bit more in that middle. Again, it felt like, oh, there was a bunch of bugs for 20 minutes straight. That was an episode. Okay. But man, that opening and that ending episode are some of the best I've ever seen. This could have been a movie focused on those two things, and it would have been a 5 out of 5 movie. So, not much bad about it. I just in the middle lost a little faith, is all. All right. Our next anime is Gacha Loot Box. Nope, that's not right. Gachiakuta. This is a shonen that's going to be 2 episodes for us, probably, as long as no one gets sick. So we'll be doing the first 12. It's a shonen about items that grant people powers in a world full of garbage. It's about recycling. Probably.
Reduce, reuse,
recycle. Or power up. I don't know. So that's what we'll be discussing.
Reduce, reuse,
episode.
gaslight.
If you have thoughts
Yes.
on Clevatess, please feel free to come to our website, theanimebakaclub.com. Hit that contact us button. Tell us what you thought. Tell us who you agree with. Your own thoughts, your own theories, all that stuff is great. Jeremy obviously already knows and has ruined the whole shell game here, but whatever. Or you can,
just the barest little thing.
you can find us on Twitter at Baka Podcast and leave comments there, or wherever you found the podcast, YouTube. Leave reviews, do all those things. Do whatever you want. Live your life. Humanity is awesome, as Clevatess has shown us, except for bandits who deserve to die.
Yes.
100%.
All right. Let's go ahead and say goodbye.
Thanks for listening.
Subarashi!
Sayonara.